The following is an exclusive presentation from Time Warner Cable, brought to you by Coca-Cola, Golden State Motors, Crab 106 FM, X96.5, and Motor City.
The all-new X96.5 plays in today's hottest music. Now with Jamie and Danny in the morning.
Good morning, Bakersfield.
We're Bakersfield's new morning show.
Today's hottest music is on the all-new X96.5.
X96.5.
Check out the savings. Check out the selection. At Golden State Motors, we haven't reached our goal until you drive away with the deal of the millennium.
From Golden State Motors, the #1 used car dealer with over 100 pre-owned vehicles, the largest selection in Kern County. Domestic and foreign cars, trucks, and SUVs with new arrivals daily.
We'll slam the competition.
Corner of Golden State and M, Golden State Motors.
I'm Dick Strickland. Welcome to the city.
Motor City. This is where you want to be.
This is where you want to be.
Motor City Auto Center has one of the largest selections in California, featuring 5 world-class lines: Lexus, GMC truck, Pontiac, Buick, and Saturn. Visit us today in the city. Motor City, in the heart of the Bakersfield Auto Mall.
This is where you want to be.
Good evening from Buchanan High School in Columbus. Welcome to the Prep Football Game of the Week on CNSI, Time Warner Cable Channel 31. We are Digital Cable 106. This is the CIF Central Section Yosemite Division Large Schools Championship, featuring Bakersfield High at 12-0 against Buchanan at 11-1. This is the home for Buchanan High School. Joining me is Brian Adams for the game tonight. Buchanan moving right to left across your TV dial in the first quarter. And they're blue and red uniforms, BHS, and white uniforms with blue letters.
How you doing tonight?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm in time. Just in time.
Kickoff underway. BHS trying to remain undefeated this year as they take the opening kickoff and step out of bounds at their own 10-yard line. And last week, Brian, BHS was able to bomb Bullard by a score of 41-7 at Griffith Field. Bullard, primarily a run-oriented team. Buchanan likes to throw the ball. One thing I know about both teams, they possess a lot of speed. BHS might have more size.
Yeah, both teams are also going to possess great defenses. And that's why they're here in the championship game. We have BHS coming to offense on first, and for them, they've been putting points on the board. They're close to almost 49 points a game. They're going to have to continue tonight.
BHS in the white uniforms for this game. They were here 2 years ago. They lost to Clovis West in the section finals. In fact, the last championship against Buchanan in 1994. Stansel's caught in the backfield and fumbles the ball, but he's down at the 2-yard line on the pitch. Talked about the speed of Buchanan on defense. Now on offense, Buchanan likes to throw the ball. They will put 3 and 4 receivers out. They only run, to be honest.
Yeah, and Buchanan's going to run a wide-open offense. It's going to be similar to Florida State, that run-and-shoot type offenses. Look, they'll have no backs, 1 back, 2 backs, but they will run trips left, trips right, and they're going to put the ball in the air.
So BHS in the first series, Brian, deep in their own territory, their own 2-yard line. Not a good place to be. Inside handoff, and a Binks goes nowhere to number 6, Virtue, the fullback. Stansel at tailback, Virtue at fullback. And, of course, Anthony Guerrero, number 1, the quarterback for BHS, has set a single-season record for touchdown passes this year.
Yeah, one thing that Coach Hudson has done is put the ball in the air a lot more, and it's evident by Guerrero's numbers. He has the record for touchdowns this year, and also they're going to have to establish the passing games, and I don't know so much they can live and die by that deep ball. Have to do some controlled passing tonight to have a chance in this game.
The last play, and they stuck him at the line of scrimmage, maybe went ahead about a half yard. 3rd down for BHS, 3rd and long. The shadow of their own end zone here at Buchanan Stadium. Guerrero to throw, flips it high to Mackey, double covered, and it's picked off at the 41-yard line. Guerrero basically threw it up for grabs. Number 24 picks it off for Buchanan.
Well,
Stephen Eaton
gets the interception, but that's what we talked about, Mark. This is the best defense they've faced since the Clovis West game, which the Drillers did struggle offensively. Now, they cannot afford to live and die, like I just said, by those deep balls like that. This team is a good defensive ball club. You're not going to beat them like that. You have to have some controlled routes. The stuff you did against Foothills and teams that you were can overpower no longer are part of your playbook as your steady diet. They still need to have those plays in there, but it cannot be their steady diet tonight, or we'll see a lot more plays like this.
And a pass is thrown to the outside of Mackey. Buchanan in business. BHS territory. 27 the ball carrier for Buchanan, and that'll be Tyler Reese. There's some of the stats on their players. In fact, Reese has over 900 yards rushing this year, 4.9 average, and Antoine Smith, maybe their top player, has run for 404 yards, 17.6 average, and also he's a fine receiver. And Reese, as you see, one of their top, actually their top scorer this year, 13 touchdowns.
And Antoine Smith, he's as advertised. He's as good as they say. He's definitely a Division I prospect.
Tyler Reese, number 27, 12 rushing touchdown. Hetherington to pass, over the middle, complete to Smith. Goes to a first down mark of the BHS 30. Here comes the late flag. And Antoine Smith this year rushing 23 carries, 404 yards, 17.6 average. And as far as a receiver, he has overall 10 touchdowns, 6 rushing, 4 receiving. Benny Clay, number 17, 9 touchdowns this year, 9 receiving, 54 points. And Reese, as we said, 13 TDs, 12 rushing, and 1 receiving.
Yeah.
So it's 27, 21, and 17. Now the quarterback playing now is Mark Hetherington, the senior, number 12. He has completed 100 passes this year for 1,640 yards, 15 scores, and Jason Baca switches off with him, number 11. He has thrown for 7 touchdowns and about 876 yards.
Now, one thing this offense cannot do, they have to respect this Driller defense. They cannot get first downs taken away from penalties. If they do, they could be in for a long night, because this defense is definitely one of the best in the Valley.
2nd and 11 for Buchanan. Hetherington to throw. BHS might have been offside, or maybe they were pulled. So Buchanan looked to have a first down at the BHS 30, then we had a late flag. Now Buchanan says it's against the Drillers. The Drillers says against Buchanan. It'll be against BHS. They give Buchanan 5 yards back. This is an unbelievable, beautiful facility for high school football.
Yeah, I mean, I know some Division I programs in college don't have better stadiums than this.
And the Bears in Driller territory at a 36-yard line. Hetherington, shotgun. Receivers to both sides, looking to the right. Fires the roll, not complete. Antoine Smith to the 25-yard line. 1st and 10 for Buchanan.
And you see right there, he's their main man right there. He's a very dangerous player with his speed, good hands. He runs a slant route and really catches the ball in his hand and attacks the ball. This is the first down.
There you go, Brian.
And here's right here, since it's a 3-step drop, he's going to wait for him to come across. Right there, he's coming out screening at him. They got away with a face mask right there, too, so there could have been some more yards tacked onto that play.
Out of Bears at a Driller 25-yard line here in the first quarter, 9:06 to play. Hetherington on the draw play. Race gets loose to the 20, 15-yard line, inside the 15 to the 12.
And even though they're not,
excellent call.
And they're not a great run team, as you alluded to earlier, but what they will do is, this is what I talked about earlier in the year about when you have an 8-9 man front, aggressive defense like the Drillers, you spread them out with receivers, you let the quarterback find a run. If they're going to only rush 3 people and drop everybody out, you will have a run. You'll see right there, there's room to run. As soon as that box alleviates and gets out that 8-man front, 9-man front with the Drillers like to play, you will have room to operate against them in a running game.
Up front for Buchanan, number 75, Mike Mallory, Josh Dorrell, right guard number 65, Jason Holland, 53, left guard. 1st and 10 for the Bears. Smith in motion. Hetherington, number 30 of the ball carrier, powers his way to about the 5-yard line. That'll be Phil Neff for the Buchanan Bears. 11-1 this year, they only lost to De La Salle from Concord. They have 3 shutouts, though, on defense.
Yeah, and I said both these defenses are going to be great defenses. Which defense can hold? Because the first offense that really breaks through, Mark, is going to win this game, because we know both defenses come to play.
What hurt BHS in opening drives, they fumbled a kickoff at their own 10-yard line, never got out of their own territory, and then, of course, the interception. But Buchanan won the field position battle there early on.
And that's going to be a key when you have 2 good defenses. You win that field position, it changes the whole game.
Hetherington 2nd and 5. for Buchanan. Racing a backfield, slips one tackle, stays on his feet, running hard to about the 5 or 6 yard line. A very tough runner, has very quick feet.
You see right there, he has some real elusive moves right there to avoid people. And look at his low center of gravity. He's going to be a tough guy to tackle tonight.
He's 5'8", about 190 pounds. 5'8", 190, so built very low to the ground with great center of gravity. 3rd down, 3 for the Bears. Deep in BHS territory. Smith wide left for Buchanan. Hetherington looking right. Fires it. Touchdown, Buchanan! Diving catch by number 6.
Sammy Coops right there. And that was a big-time college or pro route right there. That's that corner route, that comeback route in the end zone. You see it a lot in the pro and college level, but you don't see that much in the high school level. You see a lot of fades. Right there, he sails the fade, snaps back to the corner, ball's delivered on the money. 6 points for Buchanan.
Well, he took advantage of BHS's poor field position, and then the interception. Only had about 41 yards to go. It cut down the football field, and the Bears take advantage of it. PAT is up, and it's good. Number 29, Frankie Chavarin, 34 of 36 PATs this year for the Bears.
So he's highly accurate right there. You see that's a high percentage. You know, and right now the Drillers shouldn't lose their confidence. This is a good offensive ball club. Right now we're going to see touchdown play. Right now he's going the whole time 1-on-1 on his right side, the Driller left side. There's that route. It's thrown about 1 yard inside, 1 yard from the end line, 1 yard inside from the sideline, and then you work on it. It's just a timing pass. He throws it out. Either you catch it or you don't.
Talk about that offense for Buchanan. Mike Mallory at center, Josh Durrell right guard, left guard Jason Holland. The 75, 65, 53, the right tackle, number 79, John Thompson, the left tackle, number 78, John Schilling. Wing back Antoine Smith, number 21. Also Eddie Reed, number 3 back there with Sammy Kuntz, who caught the touchdown, number 6. Benny Clay, number 17, a top receiver. Tyler Reese, the tailback, number 27, and Mark Hetherington, number 12, a quarterback. Coached by Mike Vogts, who has some good years in Visalia. Done a good job here at Buchanan. Remember, they faced BHS in the '94 title game, won by the Drillers at Memorial Stadium.
You know, and the Drillers, people say history aside, these guys right now have to keep their confidence going. You gave them touchdowns early in the game, there's plenty of time. But they got to do on offense to come back, get some rhythm to their offense. But like I said, if they're going to try to live by those big bombs and not have a structured offensive scheme, it's going to be in for a long night against that tough defense. Buchanan
last week, they closed 14-7 and scored with seconds to go in the ball game. But they have been scoring points at a great rate prior to that game. Flag is down. I'm not sure who it was against. Number 20 returns to Brian Cooper. A fine wide receiver for BHS, takes it across the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and a good decision on Cooper, too. They had the reverse set up, and he broke the reverse off and head up field and picked up a good field position. You have to see where the flag is against, though. Looks like they're going to walk it off against the Drillers, though, where the official is heading.
Now they can't afford the 7-7 to play in the first. Might be a clip against BHS for the second consecutive time. They start deep in their own territory. When you're playing a tough defense like Buchanan, not a good sign. Buchanan with 3 shutouts this year. They defeated Clovis last week, 14-7 the prior week. They bombed Hoover 41-7. Then beat Central 45-15 before defeating Clovis in League 38-21. So you look, the fact they only give up 30 points to De La Salle. They've always had strong defensive teams here.
Yeah, and these teams are very similar to Drillers and Buchanan in terms of their strengths of the defense. If they have good offenses, they're going to have a chance to play a title game. If their offenses are a little subtle, they're still going to be in the playoff hunt and can give you a scare.
Throw the Stances to the 15, driven out of bounds. Good hitting by number 4 for Buchanan. Mike Flamstead, one of their top players. Their leading tackler this year is Josh Lopez, number 22, an inside backer. Number 2 tackler, Kyle Goodman, number 44, ILB. We have Daniel Moore, nose guard, number 58. Jared Hubbard, number 57, a tackle with Andrew Alvarado, number 40. The end is number 4, Mike Framston made the tackle, and the other one is number 99, Grant Thomas. 2nd and 8 for BHS. Anthony Guerrero looking over the defense, which is very good. Looking left, the pass complete to the far side. Cooper driven down at the 19-yard line. Now allowing BHS to break loose so far tonight.
But that's what I mean about a structured offensive pass play. it looks like a small little play, but you pick up 5 or 6 yards. Now you're in range where you're going to do something on 3rd down. 3rd and 3 or 4, you have some options. 3rd and 5 that you can still have the run tag. You see right here, there's a nice little hitch. Cooper, if he breaks a big one, it's good. If he doesn't, you still pick up positive yards. But watch how this defense flows. You can see it there, but there's going to be 4 or 5, 6 guys at that ball.
Very quick to the ball. 3rd down and 4 for BHS. Scansel to the outside. Look at him swarm to the football. Dives forward. But he might be shy of the 1st down. Hard to see from our vantage point. Referees are looking back at it. They're going to call it 4th down. 4th and a long one. I believe it was punting time for the Drillers. Last week they did not punt one time.
Well, they played a whole different team. This is a whole different animal they had tonight. Last week they played some teddy bears. Tonight they're playing some real animals. These animals are out the zoo tonight.
Says up there, you're in our house now. Number 1, need we say more caution, bear territory. Don't cry over spilled oil. The clock stops here, and you're out of time. Berkman a punt, BHS. Some distance to the 45. Shakes a tackle number 2. The ball carrier gets a block. Goes out of bounds. Midfield 50. On the BHS sideline. Giordano with a nice return for Buchanan.
Yeah, and he almost got all the way to the wedge, to the picket fence, and got around, but the coverage did a good job of stringing him out to stop him from a very big play.
Giordano was showing defense has 5 interceptions. Alex Jones has 5, and Eaton has 4 for Buchanan, some of the players to look at.
And that's 14 interceptions by your secondary, so obviously they're getting some pressure right here. Makes a good move, but the Drillers coverage did a good job of not allowing him really to have a chance. And I thought he could have made more yards when he got to that picket fence.
Obviously, Buchanan ready to play tonight. Baca, the second other quarterback, to Clay. 1st down for Buchanan.
And there's Clay, and he's the other big-time player for this program at that wide receiver position.
Talked about Baca. The other quarterback has thrown 7 touchdowns for 876 yards. Supposedly the better runner between he and Hetherington, so they rotate. Senior quarterbacks are both good.
You know, and one thing you do watch, look how precise these balls are being thrown. There's a lot of timing and trust in your receivers and your quarterbacks to be there and get the plays on time.
Buchanan trying to jump on BHS early. There's a draw play. Big opening, number 30, 25-20. Deep into BHS territory. Phil Neff. Huge hole.
And they're saying the ball's on the ground. But no, referees are saying it's down. They're pointing to us down. But right there, that's what I meant. I think bitches will stay with their aggressive defense. They can't get so cautious that they back off and provide room to run. Right there, with rushing 3 men, that draw play is open, especially if you got 5 or 7, the other 8 guys going out, running back with their backs turned. You see it was open right there. We saw some other open runs early. They're going to have to do what they do. You can't, but offenses do that to you. Florida dictates things like that as well by their offensive scheme. They're spreading out.
Calvin Jones. Firestone on defense. Walking the backfield to Reeves. Breaks a couple of tackles, gets back to the 10-yard line. Did a great piece of running. Should have lost about 2 or 3 yards.
And he picks up a couple.
It's tough.
You know, and this is where the Drills have to come make their plays and tackle and come and tackle. Right here, we're going to see, look, 1 missed tackle. 2 missed tackles. 3. And he finally drags a man. You know, and McCauley, who's one of my favorite players that we really like, rarely misses tackles. He's going to just slow his motor down a little bit. He has that motor running and settle down and make these plays.
BHS with the backs to the wall here in the first quarter. Baca looking left, now looking right. Fires it towards the end zone. Almost picked off. Almost. By Kyle Scott, number 8, at the 7-yard line.
Yeah, and that's one right there you got to have. This is the last game of the year. It's for all the marbles. Those are ones you have to make. But right there, Kyle did a good job of coming off the outside receiver, reading the play. You see in the end, and almost makes the play.
The pass comes for Phil Neff, number 30 of Buchanan. And they'll call it 3rd and 8 for the Bears.
If they don't want the ball picked off, they better stay away from Kyle and Scott. We've seen them pick one and take it in.
At least 5 guys going out. Baca inside sprayed, knocked in the air by McCauley, complete. 4th down for the Bears.
And that's a great play. There's our guy right there. He reads the receiver screen. He knocks it away. We'll see right here. You'll see his arm come up. Good reaction.
Number 9, Nathan McCauley.
And forces the field goal, which is a big-time play by McCauley and the Driller defense to hopefully hold him only at 3 points.
Diego Baca, 6 of 9 field goal attempts this year. along the 44. This is a 28-yarder. Ball is set. There's a kick, definitely high enough. But he pushed it wide right, no good. BHS survives that drive.
And that's what I mean about your defense. Your defense, that's what they've been sustaining themselves on this season. But they have played against competition that has not been their caliber from an offensive standpoint. But the defense has held all season. And they held again tonight on that early in this game, which could have stopped them from being 14-0 or 10-0 and really put them in a bad situation.
Great defensive play by McCauley, and they pushed the field goal. The Drillers have the ball. After on the 18-yard line, first and 10, down 7-0 to the Bears. 3-1 to play first quarter. Check the pitch over the middle. Complete to Cooper. Across the 30 to the 41. First down for BHS.
And that's what's going to be open. If Buchanan's going to play these 8-man fronts with 2 linebackers walked up 3 yards off the line of scrimmage, you'll see you can do this play action to the run, and you just run a short, simple slant. You picked up 12 yards. You don't have to throw every ball 20 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards down the field. You set them up. You hit enough of those pass plays, believe me, those secondary players will start coming
up. I really like Ryan
him.
Cooper outside, 6'1", about 205. He makes a lot of first down catches. First down. Cancel hit the back full and dropped. Whoa, 22, that's Lopez, the top tackler.
Lopez comes through against the 8-man front right there. You have a man unblocked. They're going to crash a run. If you can get lucky and catch another way, you might be able to bust a big one. But again, you know, when I see those 8, 9-man fronts, traditionally I like to see a team get up, call the pass play, and make them back out so you can run the ball. You run it, you know, right now you're just banging your head against the wall trying to run like that. They're giving you room, but now they switch up the defense again. So they're going to move the defense around and give you different looks. You have to be ready.
Second and long for BHS, second and 13. In terms of motion, flags are down. It might be motion penalty against BHS or delay of game against the Drillers. The Bears are clapping. 7-0 Buchanan, 2-3-3 on the clock here in the first quarter. If you'd like a copy of tonight's game, and of course you would, any other local program produced by Time Warner Cable, give us a call during regular business hours at 322-1941, 322-1941. Second and long for the Drillers. From Buchanan, Skidham, and Clovis. Gets up in the backfield. Guerrero will eat it at the 20-yard line.
You know, you get a penalty and a mishap, you know, and those things start going your way. You got to keep your composure, though. The Drillers cannot let it go this early in the game. Stay composed. Third and it's like 22 or I guess 20 yards or so.
Well, BHS Drill offense has not had a first quarter to remember from a positive sense in this game.
And this is the one thing that you have to be leery of when your offensive play defenses that have not been able to really stop you. What are you going to do when you can play a good defense? Are you really ready and primed for that kind of a test?
Third long for BHS, Guerrero to throw. Lobs it to Scansel. Here come the Bears, and knock him out of bounds. Going to lob to the short side, and really nowhere to go for Scansel.
And really, it's really a safe play. It's almost like a draw play. You see a lot of pros and college teams do it in your own territory. You're third, and what seems like forever. You just call it a draw play. If they break it, fine. If they don't, throw a little dump pass on the screen. If you break it, fine. If you don't, punt the ball. Let your defense come and set up and play.
Once again, Brian, Buchanan should have excellent field position. They let 7-0 Bourbon the punt. High in the air, but not a lot of length. Looks pretty, though. They'll let it roll. We'll take a BHS bounce to about the 42-yard line in Buchanan territory.
Their worst position of the game so far.
1:25 to play in the first quarter. Buchanan 7, BHS nothing. Now, the Summit Division Large Schools CIF Central Section Football Championship from Buchanan Stadium in Clovis.
Well, we're on for a good game, I believe. You know, I don't see it being a high-scoring game because the defense that they're playing against. But we'll see what happens.
Hetherington back at quarterback for Buchanan, number 12. 3 receivers wide to the right. Ball given, I think, to Reese in the backfield, and he's dropped.
And that's an example, Mark, what I mean by this defense has to be aggressive. You have to do what got you here. You can't come to the big dance and let them dictate what they're going to do to you. Play the defense you've done. Coach Harnett is a great defensive coordinator. He's had some tremendous defenses over the years, and this one definitely ranks with one of the top ones ever that he's coached. And that's what they have to do. They have to be themselves. You can't come to this game and let them dictate it. You can also dictate to the offense what they do by your pressure on the defensive ball club.
Calvin Jones, McCauley, Battistoni, Scott. Here comes Antoine Smith. Hit the 40-yard line, tries to reverse his field. He's thrown down. McCauley applying some pressure in the backfield. Number 9 for BHS, as usual.
An example, again, this series we're seeing a much more aggressive driller defense. They're not sitting back. You don't see them dropping the 3-man off and letting them have the room to operate and run. Because once you get a team running, now you're all out of balance in defense. You see right there, they swung them in the backfield on a reverse, 3rd and 11.
Brandon Reynolds, their left corner for BHS. Shirley, number 30 for the right corner. Diablo, number 10, had a great game last week against Bullard. 3rd and 12 for Buchanan. Hubbard's going to throw. Left sideline. Incomplete. No penalty. Ball intended for Eddie Reed for Buchanan. Great coverage by Diablo.
And that's what I mean. Let your defense stack up. And now they got to kick the ball to your most dangerous player that I feel in terms of just physical abilities is Mackey. You punt to him, you know he can make big plays. He could be the one. We've seen him do it against Clovis West. A game that like Drill's going to lose. He gets a big kickoff return going back and puts him right back in the game. So he has that potential to change the game and keep it and tie it up.
Eddie Reed, besides being a fine receiver with 28 receptions this year for 496 yards as a punter for Buchanan. He averages 38 yards a punt. Comes to Mackey. Lets it bounce on the 18-yard line. Should have caught it. It will roll to the 5.
You know, and that's just, you know, he's a junior. That's just a mistake he made right there. If he's not going to return it, he needs to come up and fair catch it and field it. But, you know, that's something. Now they're back in there again. But, again, they're in bad field position once again. And with this aggressive defense, that could be dangerous.
After one, Buchanan 7, BHS nothing on CNSI, Top Warner Cable Channel.
I'm Dick Strickland. Welcome to the city.
Motor City. This is where you want to be.
This is where you want to be.
Motor City Auto Center has one of the largest selections in California, featuring 5 world-class lines: Lexus, GMC truck, Pontiac, Buick, and Saturn. Visit us today in the city. Motor City, in the heart of the Bakersfield Auto Mall.
This is where you want to be.
Get ready.
For the best deals in town.
Get set.
For the deal of a lifetime.
Go.
To Golden State Motors. You haven't seen the finish line until you drive away with the deal of the century from Golden State Motors. The #1 used car dealer with over 100 pre-owned vehicles. The largest selection in Kern County. Domestic and foreign cars, SUVs, and trucks with new arrivals daily. So race on down to Golden State Motors, where we're sure you'll finish first.
BHS with the ball here in the second quarter, down 7-0. And for the 3rd time, deep in their own territory. Guerrero, quarterback draw, has to run to the 10-yard line, 15. Spins close to the first down marker. Be a couple of yards shy here.
Right there, that's a real good call right there. You're deep in the territory. It's a safe. There's no handoff, no throw to be made. He gives you some breathing room now that you can at least start to try to operate your offense.
You know, BHS in this game was made a living inside their 20-yard line. So used to being inside their opponent's 20 and in the end zone.
You know, and percentages
averaging about 40 points a game.
Yeah, and percentages aren't high for you to go 90 yards, although this team is more than capable of doing it.
Towards to the right side, pitch back to Stansel. Look for run room to the outside. Down swarms to the ball very well. Looks like he's across the 15-yard line. Very tough to find openings so far against that Bear defense.
Well, they're disciplined. Anytime you play a disciplined ball club that really swarms, they're not going to give you many opportunities to make these big plays in the run. But when you do get them, you have taken advantage of them. And the drillers will get them. In every game, you're going to have some opportunities to make some big plays. Now, whether you make it or not is going to be the difference in the ball game.
See the other Cooper coming to the game for BHS. Michael Cooper. There's a Michael Cooper. 84, a Dustin Cooper, and a Brian Cooper. Grime and Blake Mackey wide left for BHS. They're early in the second quarter. 7-0 Buchanan. Buchanan High Stadium in Clovis. Scansel in motion. Guerrero to throw. The pass complete to Mackey. Has to go upfield. Drops at the 18-yard line. Mackey dancing around, but Buchanan containing very well. Only gained 2 yards, Brian. Should have had more.
Well, right here you're going to see it's a little bit of slow development play. He's going to catch it. Ball's a little bit behind him. That causes a little delay. And then right there, again, there's 3 or 4 defenders right around there.
BHS finding guards hard to come by against Buchanan. 2nd and 8. They've had a lot of 2nd and long and 3rd and long situations early in this game. Draw play to Scansel. The hole closes very quickly as it gets across the 20-yard line. Very quickly.
You know, and that's the
Brandon Sanchez with a tackle.
You know, it looks wide open, but like I said, they swarm so well. Again, you'll see 4 or 5 jerseys right to your picture.
Ryan Chapman, number 9. Big, tall linebacker for Buchanan. Number 22, Lopez, the top tackler. 3rd down and 4 for BHS. O'Neal in motion.
Just a fumble just now.
That's up in the backfield. Fumble. Buchanan says they have it. Bear football at the BHS 20-yard line. The Drillers can't get out of their own end zone.
Well, we've seen that happen earlier against, with the Drillers that snap. Guerrero's had some problems. We saw him pick it up against Centennial and make a big run doing that, and pretty much
about 60 yards against Centennial.
Yeah. So, but
that
tonight,
was the Golden Hawks, though.
Yeah, Golden Hawks. But tonight, I mean, you just can't keep getting the kind of field position in a championship game. But again, if your defense can hold and only give them 3 points, you're still just 1 or 2 big plays from being able to win the game. But you cannot let the team go down 14-0 and the momentum swing have that big momentum swing.
1st and 10. Bachler, the quarterback, towards the end zone. Leads up in the air. Is that a great catch? Is he in bounds, out of bounds? Eddie Reed. That was a fantastic effort by him.
Yeah, right there. That was really close to being that 7. We just talked about this. Very dangerous for the Drillers to see go up on that board. But give Dover a lot of credit. He's being coached by Jason Oliver, who was a Driller champion from 88, 89 team, went to SC and played defensive back. And you'll see the skills that he learned riding that receiver out of bounds. He's in the sideline, you ride him.
Now that was almost a Chris Carter reception.
Well, almost doesn't count unless you're playing horseshoes.
Number 20 wide left for Buchanan, being Alex Jones. Baca QB for the Bears, 9:13 to play in the second quarter. Looking left, the screen, complete. Jones, not much upfield to about the 18-yard line. So a very short game for the Bears.
And these kind of plays against these kind of defenses are really hard to break. They won't just keep them honest plays. You saw McCauley ran again. He almost had a chance to pick it, and they kind of slipped behind him. But there's just not much room against these kind of defenses that swarm the way they do.
Looks like the penalty is against the Buchanan Bears. A lot of blue on the field tonight. BHS in white and blue. Buchanan blue and red. A beautiful facility on really a very beautiful night.
You know, this is a big penalty right here because you just now moved them out of field position if you can hold on 2 more downs. Well, actually 1 down.
Out of field goal range too.
Yeah, so, you know, you're putting the pressure on your defense, and Coach Harnett's defense is really coming through. You know, the first touchdown, yeah, they gave a touchdown, they only had a few yards to work with, and you can't keep doing that to them. But again, that's been their strength all year long. They keep them in the game. That's what they want to do, keep them in the game, and hopefully with our athletes on offense, BHS Drillers will say, they'll break one, give us 7 points or more.
Draw play to race, 35-yard line, and to about the 31. Nice tackle by Berkshire. Shoestring job. Nice one-on-one play. Ran a little close to the actual tackle. It'll be 4th and long for Buchanan. They should be punting here.
And there's the draw play right here. It's a safe play. You have 3rd and long. You're playing the field position game. Right now you're going to try to punt one. Well, they might try to go for a kick.
He's setting up for a field goal. His longest is 44 yards this year. So this would be a 48-yarder. They put it down at the 38-yard line. So I guess it's within his distance. They're trying a 48-yarder.
But does he have accuracy?
First one's wide right. I don't know if it's far enough. It isn't. It was short by 5 or 6 yards. So the Drillers survive, only down 7-0 with 7:59 to play in the first half.
And the Driller fans are really clapping and they're appreciating this defensive effort, and they've seen it all year long. They're used to seeing it, but right now they want to see this offense kick into gear. If this offense is kicking into gear, they're going to have some kind of routine, some kind of rhythm. Right now they're out of rhythm. There's some openings. They just have to be able to pick and choose the openings. This defense is going to mix up, play some 8-man fronts, drop 7, and drop people in the cover. They might drop all 8 guys back. But they're going to have to come to the game, come to this and call some pass plays and find runs and operate against this team.
The ball to right hash mark, Mack in motion for BHS. Anthony Grove to throw looking left. The pass picked up. That might be returned. Number 20 to the 5. Knocked out of bounds, close to the goal line. Guerrero looked at his receiver the entire time. Number 20, the right spot at the right time, Brandon Sanchez.
Well, Brandon Sanchez is doing his job right there. He just sits out in the flats, he picks it. But right there, this is what I mean about the Driller offense not doing this. This is what happens when you play teams that you can just overpower, where you can call just anything against a team and throw it up and let them go get it. Right there, that's the interception. He's in the flats. He picks it off. He runs it back to about the 1-yard line, and I don't care how good defense you are. You're asking too much of your defense. They're on the field entirely too much this first half. You're going to have to regroup on the sideline and get the offense together and say, hey, we put some points on the board, but we have to be more of a surgeon like against this team and pick and choose our places to dissect them.
Romas through that slant pattern. Raise up the middle. Touchdown, Buchanan. The Bears 13, BHS nothing. That was about a 1-yard drive. The first drive was 41 yards. They have spent the entire first half in BHS territory.
Yeah, and you do that, you win ball games. You get turnovers, you have a good defense, you have a short field to go, you win ball games. But again, this Driller offense has some weapons. The key is going to be if they can call the right plays, give them the right schemes against that defense to open it up and take advantage of their weapons.
Well, they have to give themselves an opportunity. PAT is up. It is good. 14-0 Buchanan. BHS has had a couple of interceptions tonight. They fumbled the opening kickoff at their 10. They let a punt drop.
Yep.
And it was down the 10-yard line.
They dodged that bullet, luckily.
Buchanan's missed a couple of field goals, but you can only dodge so many.
Yeah, one was a chip shot. The other one was, was just a prayer. But
you just really have to do a better job making plays. You're playing in a title game. You have to play better football.
Well, I think, like I said, one of the problems I think the Driller offense is going to have, this is what I said earlier in the telecast, is that when you're not used to being like that, being precise, you have to be precise. We talked about their short routes are not precise. Their timing is not precise. Buchanan and this, they do that all the time. The Drillers have gotten away in some games that we've seen of just throwing the ball up and having better athletes. When you're playing teams that have athletes that you have to have a better scheme than that. And if that's what your scheme is going to be, then you're going to be in for a long night. You're going to be hoping that you get 1 or 2 big plays to win the game. And when you're playing that way, you're not dictating. You're waiting for something to happen. And against a team like the Bears in this type of game, you cannot do that.
I think BHS is somewhat shell-shocked because of our fans early on. The team averaging about 40 points a game, and the turnovers are hurting them against Buchanan, and the Bears are doing whatever they want to do in this ball game. They've had won the field position war. They're up by 14-0. BHS has to get some type of a drive going because, as Brian said, the defense has spent a lot of time on the field.
Yeah.
You got to give yourself an opportunity. Mackey, 15, 20-yard line, run to the right. Then it falls down to the 27-yard line.
And that's their best field position so far tonight, really, of a good return. But, you said it best. You just can't keep your defense. As good as your defense is, they cannot play defense all night long. Okay, no defense can play defense all night long. And
what a difference a week makes. Last at a win over Fresno Bullard last Friday night. Well, BHS starters played about 2.5 quarters.
Well, I think part of it also is, like I said, we're dealing with a whole different type of animal in the Buchanan Bears. And also, when you play teams that aren't to your caliber defensively, that can stop your offense, you get in the habit. You fall complacent because you're not being challenged.
Daniel Morrow with a fine tackle on Stansel.
Again,
getting him before he has a chance to break it open.
And I said this on many telecasts, when you're playing a team that has a very good front seven that flows to that ball, you have to have a passing game that can alleviate some pressure for your running back to run.
They really fly to the ball, don't they? An excellent penetration.
And all great defenses do that. I mean, no matter what level, I don't care if you're watching Pee Wee. If you see a lot of kids going to the ball, those are going to be good defensive teams.
Mack at wide left. Burrow looking towards him. Pass complete. Mack to the 30-yard line. About 5 Buchanan Bears there to make the tackle as it gets up to the 34-yard line. As they swarm to the football.
You know, but again, he picks up 5 yards. It's better than 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9 if you get stuffed in the run. And also, it's a safe pass. They're going to respect this kid's speed. This kid is a 10-6 sprinter. Okay, they know they cannot walk up and sit with him and let him run by him. So they're going to give him some respect. You have to take advantage of that. You got to give what the defense is taking you in a game like this. It's early in the game. You don't want to just let it get out of hand by going for them and making another mistake and get up and be down 21-0.
Well, we have a great contingent of BHS fans in front of us tonight. Guerrero rolling to his right under heavy pressure, looking downfield, throws it, complete. Number 40, first down for the Drillers. Matthew Chambers on his knees.
And I think Guerrero's going up a lot of the quarterback from when we saw him last year to this year. He's an entirely different quarterback. Right there, you're going to see us. He's going to roll out here. He fakes the play action. He outruns the containment by taking a good angle back and rolling to his right. And this is what I like to see with the young quarterbacks, is rolling to the right. Give him a chance to make a throw. We've seen some teams roll the quarterback to the left. You see those bad throws and interceptions. Right, he rolls to the right. He delivers the ball for a first down and keeps the chains moving.
Kyle Goodwin, number 44, in hot pursuit of Guerrero. First down for BHS. Stanso has an opening to about the midfield, 49-yard line, Buchanan territory. They'll be 2 or 3 yards shy of the first down. 5:51 to play in the first half. Buchanan 14, BHS nothing.
And you see what a couple plays make a difference. You string a couple plays in a row, you get your momentum. And right there, that's what I mean about dissecting. They throw a short pass, get 5 yards. And they do a play action. They know they're flowing. They roll out. It's not a deep pass. It's just nothing but 10 yards downfield. And now you come back with a run. And that's how you dissect the defense. But that's what the kind of game plan you have to beat a team like this.
8-1-1 with Mackey. Moves line up wide left for BHS. Ball on the right hash mark. Guerrero looking for Mackey. Back up, throws it high in the air. Double coverage, picked off again. Still in midfield 50, 45, 40, 28. Refuses to go down inside the 30-yard line. Franklin, shove run.
And right there,
should have been down at the 40-yard line.
And I just alluded to it about dissecting. There was no need to go deep. That's what you lived on. You have a good athlete on the other side of the ball. You cannot afford to just throw it up anywhere and think you're going to go get it. These guys can play. They're not 11-1 or lost to De La Salle for any reason at all.
Free safety just came over easily and made the INT. They made a great run back.
And he's going to regrow. And again, like you said, now look at field position. 29 yards to go for pay dirt.
I was waiting for somebody to bring him down. He ran about 20 yards down the sideline. And then he took about 3 BHS players another 5 yards. Ruiz rolls his way to about the 25-yard line. Was he down at the 27?
You know, they're not going to mark him down. They're going to keep it going, but
3 interceptions for Guerrero here in the first half.
Well, 3 interceptions, and again, the latter one, you're asking the kid you're putting pressure on the kid by telling, let's go out and up. Because you tell a kid that or a hitch and go, he's going to throw it whether it's open or not. That's what they've been practicing. But again, these are the plays that they've gotten away with against lesser competition. And you cannot do that in a game like this.
Interception by Alex Jones, number 28 for Buchanan. Etherington, a quarterback. Switch with Baca. Ruiz in the backfield, tries to cut back. And to about the 22-yard line. They have made their living inside the BHS 30 in this ball game.
And they have. And again, the one thing that the interception does is your defense doesn't have a chance to rest. By dissecting and moving the chains that they were doing, the defense is resting. Because this defense has got a tough test already. You don't want your defense tired in that second half if you do get some big plays going off in the second half and get back in the game.
3:50 to play in the second quarter. Buchanan going for more. Had 14-0 over BHS. Ruiz bursts up the middle to the 20-15. Has a first down and more to about the 7-yard line. First and goal.
And Mark, we talked about them not being a running team. The reason why when they do run and they run successful is because they pick their opportunity to run. They wait till they have everybody back. You can't see it there. They had 4 or 5 guys in defensive backfield. There's too much arrogance to block. Opening holes, big runs right there. And that's what you're going to have when your passing game deserves that much respect. you're going to be able to run the ball. That's why Florida State can have these little backs that people say, oh, he shouldn't be playing like Ward Gunn, and they rip off 1,000-yard seasons.
Run wild with a shotgun. Rays! Did anybody touch him? Touchdown, Buchanan! A flag is down at the 7-yard line, so we might bring it back.
It's coming back, it looks like.
At 3-1 to play in the second quarter.
They're calling holding, and that's a big bullet again. The drillers have dodged the penalty. You know, if you watch the defensive drills, their hands are on their hips. They're tired right now. And that's why it's so important for your offense to be able to sustain some drives. Even if you don't get any points off of it, at least chew up some clock and give them a break.
When's the last time BHS was shut out this late in the ball game?
Well, again.
This year.
Again.
Playing a much better team.
You're playing, yeah, I mean, that's why when you come to a game like this,
but of course,
you got those stats out the window.
You and I agree they're hurting themselves with their missed opportunities.
Well, you know, not missed opportunities. I think they're poor decisions. I think that it's a situation where, but again, that's what you've done all year long. So you don't know any better.
You've gotten away with it.
You haven't practiced any better. So you got away with a lot of bad habits. And when you get away with bad habits, they come to bite you. But when you have a good defense, they're able to keep you in a lot of games.
Buchanan calls a timeout. 3-3-1 on the clock. 14-0 Bears. And they're at the BHS 16-yard line. They took that touchdown away from Buchanan due to a hold. The BHS momentarily survives, but Buchanan's passed the ball effectively. So on the short stuff, that's opened up their running game. BHS defense is very tired. They're not tackling very well tonight.
Well, and that's what happens when you're on the field a lot. That's what happens. That's what happens when you when you're on the field a lot. You're going to get tired. They've been on the field almost the entire first half here, and you cannot perform at your best when you're tired against a fresh offense. You know, you got to remember, offensive players, it's a short burst. Defense, you're going the whole time. You're trying, especially a Coach Arnett defense. They're traditionally, they fly to the ball. You're not going to play for him if you don't fly around.
Buchanan was very much ready to play as this game began tonight. They look like they were on a mission. And they have been. Efferton, a quarterback for the Bears. Looking right. Towards the end zone, has a man open. It's knocked away by Shirley at the last moment. Excellent play. Otherwise, it'd be TD time for Buchanan.
Yeah, and
Benny Clay, number 17 out there.
And Shirley is a very good defender. He's one of the best defenders, I think, as a corner in the area, especially in the city. And right there, that's a play. You see a lot with Deion Sanders. It looks like it's open, but really because the kid's closing his ability to jump, he just knocks it away.
Second down for the Bears. That'll be 16. Three receivers wide to the left. That's one looking right. Here comes the pressure to the 20-yard line. Falls down. Drills putting more heat on him. That time by Josh Nabone. He's been known to play some fullback.
And that's a situation, you know, it's kind of weird. Buchanan calls a timeout, gives the driller a chance to rest and catch their breath. And they put two good plays back to back. And they're going to put them in a tough situation in terms of kicking a field goal. They can't pick up a touchdown.
Well, the quarterback was slow getting up, but he seems to be okay. Of course, they rotate Baca with him.
Yeah, they have two.
Yeah, two very good ones, two seniors. And Hefferton is going to the sideline. A lot of weapons on this Buchanan team. 3:12 to play, first half. Out of Bears 14, BHS nothing. Here comes Baca.
And I'll tell you that if the drillers can sustain one more shot and not allow some points to go up on the board, they're still in this ball game.
Joe Donald wide left for Buchanan. Baca looking that direction now over the middle. Has a man open momentarily.
Pass interference.
He's
They're going to call that.
That'll be a foul against BHS.
They're going to call that. That's wide open in the middle of the field.
Ron Venters, number 12, made the hit for the Drillers at the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
Was the ball catchable?
Oh, ball is definitely catchable.
Hit him too early.
I think he had a good chance at getting it as well. But now you give them back the first down. Your defense was doing real well. Now they have a first down and goal from the 10. So.
Well, it put a lot of pressure on BHS D because they can do so many things well.
Yeah, and
utilize a lot of players.
Yeah, and right there, Vendors really, he did what he's supposed to do. He got there a little bit early, made the contact. And when you're in the middle of the field, it's a very easy call for the referee to call.
Great wide right for Buchanan. Antoine Smith wide left, number 21. Ruiz up the middle to the 5-yard line. Stays on his feet. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. You talk about a guy with second, third, fourth, and fifth effort. Ruiz for the Bears. Uses his hands to balance himself on the 5-yard line, Brian, and motored his way into the end zone.
Yeah, and right there, really the demoralizer was the penalty, and then the defense kind of down. That he runs through a couple tackles that we seen do earlier in this first half and scores, and now puts the Drillers really in a deep hole at 21-0. That's a tough defense. And, you know, with about 2 minutes left in the quarter, 1.5, they're going to have to regroup. This team does have the talent, though, with the players they have to make some big plays. They have to pick and choose when to go for them and when to find them. And again, they got to get some rhythm in their offense. If they can get a few plays clicking, as we saw, they'll get a roll and start to be able to move the ball. But just because you had 3 go, don't press your luck sometimes.
The problem is Buchanan's not allowing them to have any rhythm. I'll talk about this. What a tough runner that guy is. BHS is hitting him. He refuses to go down, using his hands to balance and always getting that extra yard. We talked about Antoine Smith.
You know, he averages 4.9 yards a carry. You're talking about 3 runs and first down, so this kid is a tough runner. They just don't run the ball that often because they're able to pass against teams, but the Drillers are giving them the room to operate by putting in the nickel backs and pulling the secondary and the linebackers back and having room to run.
Of course, with him, the top scorer for Buchanan this year. Most of his TVs rushing. He has 1 receiving. Tyler Ruiz, number 27. Been a big play man for them, about 5'8", 190 pounds. Very strong athlete, a lot of character. PAT attempt. It's kind of punched. No good, wide left. That was only the 3rd miss by the Buchanan kicker this year, PATs. Frankie Chavaron. He's only missed 3 PATs this year, 20-0 Buchanan. The BHS has a long uphill climb with 2:44 to play in the first half.
But the thing they can't do right here, they just can't try to go for it all on his first play with 2 minutes left. There's way too much time. If you make a mistake and throw another interception or a fumble or something bad happens, just get back and try to establish yourself a rhythm. You know, and that's what offenses thrive on is rhythm. Defense try to break up your offensive rhythm. But again, to beat a team that's going to run 8-man fronts is reminiscent of the Desert Storm in the early 90s at Arizona. To beat them, you have to be able to pass because you're going to get one-on-one, and your receiver quarterbacks have to be in tune, and you don't have time to get the ball way downfield. You got to dissect them. You got to be like a surgeon, just cut them up. You don't have to go way down the field. They were doing just fine with those little 5-yard hitches. There was no need to do what they were doing, trying to do.
2 interceptions were long passes to Mackey, and the safety came over and made the pick. 3 INTs for Guerrero in the game. All-Nil takes it across the field, running to the 30-yard line as Buchanan swarms to the football once again. 2:37 on the clock here in the first half. BHS nothing. Buchanan 20.
And Shirley's coming in the ball game as receiver, and we saw him against Foothill making a real nice play, and we were talking about him, you know, being in there with his abilities to catch and run the ball.
Well, I got to do something to change the flow. Cooper, Mackey wide left. No wide right for the Drillers. Anthony Guerrero, number 1 at quarterback. Stansel in motion for the Drillers. Guerrero looking right, steps up, fires it. Over the head of O'Neal, had him open at the 45-yard line, Buchanan territory. But to no avail, incomplete on the coverage for the Bears, number 22, Josh Lopez.
You know, right there we'll see this play. I mean, he's overthrown, but I want to see how close that safety's right there. What you're going to have to do with this safety, because he is good at watching the quarterback. If you want to throw to the right side of the field, you got to look left. You have to move. The quarterback has to beat the safety in this defense. One of the great offensive coordinators in college football, Homer Smith, who played at UCLA, teach the quarterbacks that you beat the safety. Our job as receivers to beat the man. He beats the safety against the scheme.
And Ron safety is about 20 yards off the ball. That is Alex Jones at INT. Heavy rush on Grover, just throws it away to the BHS sideline. As he is rolling to his left, they're probably calling intentional grounding. Cooper and O'Neill were going downfield. Guerrero unloaded it. Normally they don't really call that type of penalty. But the Bears putting on a heavy rush on Anthony. He's going to his left.
Yeah, you know, usually I think they maybe unloaded so far away from the receivers they called it, but like you said, that's a rare call on this level. You know, the pro level you see it a lot more this year, but that's a rare call on this level.
The pro level, they don't throw within 20 yards of the receiver, and sometimes they don't call it.
Not if they don't get out, but I mean, if that pro quarterback doesn't try to get all the way out, they'll call it in a minute if he doesn't make any effort at all.
Two receivers were going deep for BHS down the sidelines, and he just threw it horizontally towards the BHS sideline. So now they're back inside the 10-yard line.
I mean,
2:28 to play in the first half. Brian down 20-0.
And it's easier for us to sit up here and do it, but I just know from being in the battle against this kind of defense what you have to do. And trying to just go straight down the field every play is not going to work.
O'Neill motion. Hand off to Scansel. To the 20-yard line. Has a little bit of an opening. Down to the 24. And 8 of the Bears in on the tackle.
You got good and bad news on that play. Good news is you got room to punt the ball, so at least they'll have the ball on the other side of 50. The bad news is there's 2 minutes left with a tired defense.
Buchanan will get the ball back.
Yeah, with a tired defense.
Well, the defense has spent an eternity on the field here in the first half. So far, it has been a night to forget for BHS. 12-0 coming in. They have blown out most of their opponents. Had a couple of close games early in the year against Clovis West and Golden West. It has been smooth sailing since then, but tonight, I think Buchanan has just come to play more BHS this evening.
I don't think that. I think what you have is, in my opinion on it is, I disagree on this in terms of, I don't think someone's being prepared. I know these players are prepared. I know Harnett, I've been with them in the battle. I know he's prepared. It's not preparation. I just believe it's the scheme. When they've played against Clovis West, they've struggled offensively. They've played against Golden West, they've struggled. They're playing here tonight, they're struggling. They've struggled against 3 good defenses. And it's because of their scheme, because they're allowed to call a lot of plays that aren't going to work against good teams.
Well, I think BHS has been prepared, but I haven't seen them play with reckless abandon from the opening kickoff tonight. I haven't seen them really hitting anybody for Buchanan. I haven't seen them making any big plays. It has been the same team I've seen all year. Buchanan has come out really with a mission. I haven't seen that with BHS from the opening kickoff tonight.
Defensively, they're playing good ball. I mean, seriously, if you're going to tell me you get the ball on the 1-yard line, supposed to stop you on 31, they've stopped them 3 times in short territory. So the defense is doing their job. You're not going to see the reckless abandon because they're going to spread them out with the 4 and 3 receivers. So by nature, you're going to be spread out. So you're not going to see that what you normally see with their pressure. But the difference is in this game is, again, a tired defense. I don't care what defense you are. You're tired, you're going to struggle. Bottom line.
And they are. Breeze with an 8-yard run, 150 to play. No tomorrow.
No.
You lose tonight, your history.
But again, you're talking about an offense that's not prepared. And like I said, and this is what I mean. I was at the Clovis West game on the sideline. I watched that game from the sideline. They struggled against a good defense. I wasn't at the Golden West, but I know from talking to people they struggled in that game for a while before they got clicking and came back to win the game.
Baca to throw over the middle. Tip up the air, incomplete. Cooper was close for BHS. Also 87, Matthew Dover.
You know,
and Buchanan will throw the ball throughout the entire game. That's their offense. But they have run the ball very effectively tonight as they've opened up those running lanes against the entire D.
When you put those 4 and 3 receivers out there, what you do is you go and look for the run. You look for what they call men in the box. You want to see 7 in the box or less. You see the 7 in the box, there's room to run. See, right now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defenders back there. If he
Race breaks a tackle in the backfield. Has a first down for Buchanan inside midfield 50 to about the 47-yard line. Reese probably has close to 1,000 yards for the year now. And about a 4.9 average. Antoine Smith, we talked about, had a 17.6-yard average with 404 yards, but Reese has been a workhorse for Buchanan tonight.
But again, you make running easy on your running back when you can find that room. When you have all those defensive backs and linebackers that spread out, you're talking about now 5 blockers blocking 4 people.
And the quarterbacks have plenty of time to throw, whether it's Baca or Hefferington. They're both very good.
Well, because you're not seeing the pressure. I think that one series we talked about where we saw McCauley and they did that stop, we saw that pressure that they're doing. And again, you know, you're at a point now where you're down 20-0. you still feel you got the talent to do it. You got the big-time players, but the thing is, I just think offensively, they've gotten away all year with a bad offensive scheme. And even though they score points, people can say, well, they score points. Stats and points are irrelevant when you're playing against teams that aren't as talented as you. In the talented games, they only scored 13, I believe, against Clovis West. Mackey ran a pick kickoff back as one of the other points.
That's what we need tonight. Yeah. A couple of big plays by the defense, a fumble recovery, interception,
and that's
or possibly a punt return. They need to do that to get the team.
And that's what you have to have. When you have teams that are even defensively, even offensively, special teams become a big play, or the defense teams, like you said, they got 3 interceptions and 1 fumble. And you just can't win ball games like that.
Comes the pressure. And a pass complete to Reese. To the 40-yard line, puts his head down to the 35 and more. They should have another first down for the Bears. They put some pressure on Baca as they look to his right. Nice screen back to Reese. Has had an outstanding game for Buchanan. But a hard man for BHS to stop.
Yeah.
As a receiver, as a runner. Very talented. Here's Donald wide right. Baca over the middle, complete to Antoine Smith. Another first down for the Bears as they are shredding a BHS defense now.
But you see how crisp the routes are and how crisp the ball is, and that's why when I talk about the short passing game,
that's right there.
That's what I'm talking about. Because believe me, you hit enough of those, you'll be able to go up top real soon.
And pinpoint right there.
And that's what the passing game is about, precision. It's not about
offense, Brian. 5 guys going out, plenty of time. Flag is down. Pass to the end zone, picked off by the Drillers.
And that's
what's the flag all about?
And there's the play you're talking about.
Venters with a pick. It might be against Buchanan, hopefully.
If you're a Driller, you're hoping it is.
I believe it's against Buchanan.
Yeah.
So it should be Drill ball.
Yep.
Interception holds up. BHS football. 33 seconds to play here in the first half. The Drill is down by 20 points.
But again, there's 20 points on the board, but that's not indicative of how the defense has played. Again, they've made another big play. This offense has not done anything. Right now, if it's me, I lick my wounds, say we got beat down in the first half. Down the ball, run it, go into the half, come out with a game plan. But to beat the kind of front you're playing against, to beat that Desert Storm type scheme, you're going to have to get your quarterback and receiver to hit the short passing plays and be pinpoint precise.
3 receivers wide left for BHS. Guerrero, draw play to Scannell to the 20-yard line, and I throw him down. Number 9 for the tackle, Ryan Chapman for the Bears. Whatever hole that Scannell has tonight closes very quickly. He was stopped by the line of scrimmage. I thought he'd pick up 5 or 10 yards like he does in most games.
Well, like I said, when you're playing against teams that aren't your caliber, you're able to do some things that you're not able to, that goes into a bad habit of playing.
The Drillers definitely have to pick up in the second half. This is for all the marbles. CIF Yosemite Division Large Schools Football Championship from Buchanan Stadium. The Bears 20. The Drillers nothing on CNNSI, Time Warner Cable Channel 31, Digital Cable 106.
The all-new X96.5 plays in today's hottest music. Now with Jamie and Danny in the morning.
Good morning, Bakersfield.
We're Bakersfield's new morning show.
Today's hottest music is on the all-new X96.5.
X96.5.
You'll have to excuse the Johnsons. They got a great deal on a car at Golden State Motors and can't seem to contain their excitement. They were treated to great customer care from low-pressure salespeople, making it much easier to take advantage of Golden State Motors' everyday low prices. For a deal so good you'll want to dance, come to Golden State Motors. We're driven to see you drive home happy.
Well, scored at halftime. Buchanan 20, BHS nothing, and a CIS Central Section U70 Division Large Schools Championship. We're going to look at one of Buchanan's 3 touchdowns in the game. Hetherington, the quarterback.
Yeah, this is the first play right here. And it was just a comeback out to the corner. The receiver goes about 3 yards deep in the end zone, pops back to the 1-yard pylon inside that 1-on-1, catches the ball, touchdown.
That was Kuntz with a touchdown for Buchanan, but the main man offensively for them has been Ruiz, the running back. He has powered the ball through the BHS defense. He's caught a couple of passes, and he has been a stalwart for the Bears tonight offensively. Bach and Hetherington have both played well at quarterback, and the defense come up with the big plays.
And here it is right there. That was the 1-yard plunge that he got right there after that turnover.
Ruiz. Interception by Guerrero. The ball is returned to the 1-yard line. Ruiz ran it in. That was one of 3 picks thrown by Anthony Guerrero in the ball game. As you see him, number 1, one of the captains of 4 captains for BHS. 2 of the picks on passes attempted to Blake Mackey, and the safety came over and intercepted both of them.
2 attempts deep. Well, the first one the corner got. Here's another touchdown right here. This was the one to go up. You see that tough run where he just bounces off?
That's Ruiz.
Low center of gravity, puts the hand down to keep his balance, then dives into the corner for a second touchdown.
He's tough.
But again, like you said, alluded to, the interception was thrown from those deep passes going deep. One was a hitch and go. And you haven't enough hitches yet to go to it, but they went to it anyway. Safety was not looked off. Comes over the top. He's going to read that quarterback's eyes. He makes the pick. The other one, Blake Mackey and the defensive back are running for it. The ball's a little outside. Corner gets it.
Well, with BHS, they've suffered 3 interceptions tonight, a fumble. They've also fumbled a kickoff out of bounds of the 10, allowed a punt to drop inside the 10-yard line. So they have faced horrendous field position tonight.
Yeah. And their offensive mistakes, except for the snap, there's a fumble, but the other ones are based out of scheme. Right now, their scheme is not suited to beat the kind of defense they're playing. When you see that Desert Storm defense that was probably, like I said, in the early 90s with Arizona, it's going to have that 8-9-man front. They're going to flip-flop in between it. You're going to get a lot of pressure on the quarterback, but also the main thing that defense is it shuts down the run.
Desert Storm D. Great contingent of BHS followers tonight at the ball game. The Drills played in this game 2 years ago against Clovis West and suffered a defeat. James, Bryce McGill and company, Pat Osborne, some of the outstanding players in that team 2 seasons ago. As we get set for the second half here on CNNSI, Time Warner Cable, Channel 31, Digital Cable 106, with Brian Adams and Mark Heffernan. Your alma mater is going to a bowl game, UCLA.
Yeah, they're going to throw us a little bone this year.
Going to play Wisconsin again.
We got to beat them this time now. We're 0-2 against them in 2 Rose Bowls, so maybe going to Hawaii where we have actually El Paso, where we've had success in the past. We beat Illinois 6-3.
They have matched up well with that Badger program. They're always very physical, and they give UCLA a lot of trouble.
Well, defensively, a lot of teams we can give us trouble, but we haven't been able to put any points on the board offensively as well. Offense has really struggled too. But we're going bowling, and we're going to make some money.
Yeah. And Fresno State will be in a bowl, but we're not sure what bowl game they will be in at this point. 7-4 this year.
Yeah, and they feature quite a few ex-Bakersfield players,
David Carr, the most valuable offensive player for the Bulldogs this year, the quarterback. Bryce McGill, who was a WAC Defensive Player of the Week last week in their blowout win over San Jose State. James McDermott. You have
Rodney Wright, one of the top
Rodney Wright, the receiver. Tim Osborne is a backup tight end special teams player. You have Jason Stewart.
Yeah.
I have a few other BHS players. I think you have some linemen.
And the Fresno State program has always been Bakersfield friendly in recent years, anyway, I should say. Where they do
paint the valley red. Pat Hill.
Yeah, he does. And Coach Hill is a good coach.
I'm sure he's here tonight. This Buchanan BHS matchup. Buchanan coming out to the field, sporting that 20-0 lead. At their own stadium, they are the top seed, and the Central Section BHS the second seed.
Yeah, and they're getting the ball back to start this half off.
And the Bears are juiced. They are pumped for the second half. BHS crowd kind of looking on in shocked disbelief here as we begin the third quarter.
Well, they're not used to seeing this. They're used to seeing the drillers come out, and if they're slow a little bit, they come in on strong and end up blowing teams out. But, right now, they're going to buckle down. They have a chance now to pin them inside the 20 or less with a good kickoff and coverage. And if the defense can come out 3 and out, field position, offense, put something together, put some points on the board, you're right back in the ball game.
Okay, third quarter action from Buchanan High School. The drillers in white and blue uniforms are road outfits against the Buchanan Bears in blue and red. Tremendous following of BHS supporters on hand tonight. They made the hour 45-minute trip up here to Clovis. White kicks off for the drillers. Comes to Jones, the end zone. They will take it out the 20-yard line. First and 10 for the Bears at their own 20-yard line. Let's see if the driller D can come up with a big play, a turnover here.
Yeah, and they got one to end that one to stop a touchdown drive or at least a field goal. You know, right now this has been their real first opportunity to really set their defense up where they can be a little more aggressive and go for them. They've been a little defensive because of field position, so it'll be interesting to see right now if this defense can come out and change the game. I mean, this is football. Just because you had one bad doesn't mean you can't turn it around and flip it and get back in this game.
Oh, definitely. Buchanan had a couple of missed field goals. The 3 touchdowns. Fumble in the backfield. I think the drillers pounce on it. Yes, they do. They got the TL. Let's take advantage of it. Let's go.
And right on cue, the defense comes up. First opportunity, they were aggressive. They were coming up man-to-man. They were going to bring it. Now the offense has their best field position all night long. They've got to put some points on the board. You see right there, just never got a good clean handoff. Ball's on the ground, and we can't see what driller recovers it, but all that matters is that the mighty drillers have it.
The ball's intended for Phil Neff, and they fumble in the backfield. So the drillers with a golden opportunity as Buchanan 22-yard line. Then Buchanan jumps down to the ball carrier, goes about the 19-yard line, and stacked up there by the Bears defense. Wow.
Now, if the drillers decide to put the ball in the air on this series right here, it's very important for the quarterback to look the safety off. If that safety is reading him, he's going to come over, cause a lot of crowd. If he's going to go right, he needs to look left and come back to his right. If he looks left, he will have time on the backside to get a backside route in.
McAvoy left for the drillers. Cooper slot left. The ball on the right hash mark for Anthony Grove, number 1 in company. Second down to 6 for BHS. Chambers a motion pitch back. That is Scansel to the 20-yard line for the cutback 15. Powers his way to about the 14-yard line. Maybe he should have cut back a little bit quicker. Third down for BHS.
Well, the reason why there is no cutback. When you're playing against that Desert Storm type defense, there is no cutback lane. And that's why you like it. You can see right here, you just string it out. Your defense strings it. He's holding a blocker.
That's
the other
good
players
one.
are coming. Again, once you see 1, 2, 3, 4,
Here they
5
come.
players. That's why there's no cutback lane against that kind of defense.
Alex Jones, the free safety for Buchanan, number 28. Bergman line up a left tackle for BHS, number 70. Third and short. Raul Scansel gets a great block to the 10-yard line, to the 5. First and goal for BHS. The drillers on the march.
And that's how you run against them. You hook them. You got to go outside. There's no room inside. You see right there, that's a good block, lead block. That really springs it. And again,
that's by Berkshire, number 6.
You know, and that's really what springs the run right there because
Berkshire, number 6, the fullback for BHS. Really a devastating blocker. An I formation in front of Scansel. First and goal for the drillers. All nil slot left. Ball given to Scansel to the outside. Gilman chasing him and throws him down the 8-yard line.
See, if you don't get that lead block to kick out that man or to hook him, there's just no room to run.
Number 2 tackle for Bullard Buchanan this year, Goodman, number 44. On that D, Kyle Goodman. Top tackler is Josh Lopez, number 22. Brandon Sanchez, not bad, number 20. Strong safety. Matt Giordano, one of the corners, number 2. The other corner, number 24, Stephen Eaton.
You know, one of the plays you have, with having a couple of good runs, you have that play action, that rollout where your quarterback has a chance to find somebody.
Eaton has Mackey, second and goal for BHS. Throw from the 9 to Scansel. Hit a backfield, dives forward to about the 7-yard line. Number 58 breaking up that play for Buchanan, Daniel Mora. kind of creating havoc in the BHS backfield, number 58.
Yeah, I mean, again, that defense is designed to stop good running backs.
They do.
I mean, he's had one play, really he's had some room to run. We've seen tonight he hadn't made a good run and almost picked up a touchdown, but now they're in third down, and that's about 8 or 9 yards.
Third and goal. Moore is the nose guard for Buchanan. The tackle's 57. Hubbard, overall, number 40. In motion, Mackey for BHS. Grow to throw. High towards the left sideline. Incomplete. 10 for O'Neal. Great coverage by Eaton, number 24 for Buchanan. The ball was thrown up in the air for grabs, fourth down.
Yeah, and I don't know if they have that pass play we saw Buchanan complete against that package. That's why I think that comeback out that we saw Buchanan do is a good route in high school because most people just throw fades. Right here you can see if he runs the comeback out, he's open. I mean, it's just a pass and catch, but right there, it's an easy play for a defensive back. There's not much room for a guy to fade. You don't have to worry about a guy beating you deep, and he makes the play, but you have to get some kind of points on the board on this series.
Well, we're going to go for the field goal, Brian. Barthelmus with a 25-yarder. Ball is set. Line drive. That's good. Just made it inside the upright. It was close. Almost pushed it wide right.
You know, and right there they got some points on the board. And again, you come right back out with your defense, and you want to pin them in that 20-yard line and less again, and fire up again so you get another turnover because that's how you're going to win this game. It's field position now. Give yourself a chance to have some opportunities to get back in the game and score. That was a perfect opportunity right now, right there to get 7. And they came up a little short, but they did get 3. And now you let your defense, who's rested in halftime, and you saw they came out. They're going to be aggressive.
20-3 in favor of Buchanan, 8:45 to play in the third quarter. As Barthelmus, Mr. Consistency, kicks a 25-yard field goal. And White should be kicking off for the Drillers. Took advantage of that fumble by Buchanan, got 3 out of it.
Well, you had to get some points. If you come with none, it's just too demoralizing at this point in the game. But you got 3 points, your spirits are up, the crowd's up into it.
Should pump your defense, too.
And it does. And you saw the defense, like I said, they came out with everybody up. They were manned up press coverage, so they're going to make them have to go for it.
White with a strong leg. Tackle Antoine Smith, 2-yard line, 5 to the 10. Left side 15, 20-yard line, breaks the tackle to the 30-yard line. Come out of the midfield 50. He's going to cut back to the 30, 20. Hey, my goal of the day. 10, touchdown, Buchanan. I don't believe it.
Well, it just happened. And right there, they say he's the best player they have. And there he goes, 99 yards for a touchdown, and the back is broken. You had a chance to pin him, and you didn't. And I'm going to tell you, you kick the ball to a dangerous weapon. It's like when we're kicking the ball to Mackey. If you got a guy kick the ball in the end zone, kick it in the end zone.
He took the ball away from Lopez. I guess it was a good catch by Antoine Smith. White was a deep man. The kicker for BHS had about 3 blocks in front of him. And Antoine made a move to his right and back to his left and showed that great speed.
Well, the kid has great speed, but also he has the poise and the moves. You saw he kind of hesitated on them. Then he exploded through the tacklers and made the play. And, you know, I seen Mackey against Clovis West, so, you know, you get back in the game and you're back down again. You know, it's like you just lost 4-point switch if he makes the
because that's about 99 yards.
And they're going for 2
points. Baca throwing to the end zone, has a man open. Touchdown, Goodman. Normal plays linebacker playing tight end. 2 points for Buchanan. 28-3 in favor of the Bears over BHS as they answer back in big and major fashion. Took the ball away from number 28. Going up the middle. Breaking to his left. Flips a potential tackle right there. Then he saw some opening. Turn on the afterburners.
Yeah, right here it's just pure speed right here. I mean, you can see him moving out. With 3 blockers and 1 guy to go, that's touchdown.
White, the kicker, the deep man for BHS. Antoine making a little move.
Right there, but you know one thing, you know.
Watch out for the dive to the end zone.
And then he just puts the little exclamation point.
The cameras are rolling.
Yeah,
the cameras are rolling, yes.
He puts the exclamation point on it right there. You know, and again, I mean, you just couldn't afford to have that kind of play happen to you at this point in the game. You just got 3 points. You know, to kick it off, and you know, it's just a demoralizing play. It's really a backbreaker for the team.
It is. It is.
I mean, you can just see the disposition on the sideline as he went by.
Obviously, the Bears have a lot of weapons. Ball kick to Cooper, 20-yard line. Heads to 23 and down. About 6 Bears in on that tackle.
I mean, they swarm on special teams. They swarm on their defense. You know, and that's just like I said. That's what you want your defense special team to do. You want to see those 8 and 9. That when you have 5 and 6 guys going, if one guy misses a tackle, the others can collect up the bounce offs and put them down.
A very well-coached team with a lot of athletes and tremendous speed and discipline. The Buchanan Bears, 23 over BHS, 8:24 to play in the third. After they grow on the offense, back up there, looking with Scansel. To about the 27-yard line. Nice pickup for the BHS O. Second and a long 3.
You know, and I mean, right now you're in a rock and a hard place. You're down 25 points. The clock's running against you. You don't have, time. You don't want to be in such a panic mode that you just make another mistake and really end the game.
The drillers full ball coming in. Buchanan 11-1. Cooper in motion. Throw to throw. Rolling out to his right. Looking downfield. Take off 30-35. Hit hard and dropped by Goodman. He's the guy who caught that 2-point conversion for the Bears. And their number 2 tackler this year.
You know, you see right there, Guerrero is a dangerous quarterback when he gets out of that pocket. He can run and throw the ball, but he also can get downfield with his running ability. Picks up a first down right there. And you know the chains are moving and it gets out of bounds, clock stops.
First and 10 for BHS. On the run out of the pocket by AG. After on 32-yard line, 7-3 to play in the third. Pitch back, Scansel, left, as a block cuts up. 40-yard line, close to midfield before he is driven out of bounds by number 20, Alex Jones for the Bears. Safety.
You know, that's really only the second time that Stansel has some room to run. Right here, you're going to see Cooper and actually Mackey does a good job on that crackback block of springing him open. But see, that's how we talked about earlier. You have to have somebody either hook him or kick him out to have that room. And they finally found a way to get it running, you know. And again, important thing is he got out of bounds and stopped the clock.
He's looking at an attempted tackle by Gio O'Donnell, number 2 for Buchanan. First and 10 for the Drillers at their own 49-yard line. Mack and Cooper to this side. O'Neal to the other side. Cooper in motion. AG, draw play, scans to midfield 50, hit and drop to the 48. Great tackling.
Yeah, and that's the thing they do. They tackle real well, you know, and if you get one good run, you think it's open, and it's really not. I mean, they pretty much shut down the run. And at this point in time, with the clock running against you, you're going to have to figure out some way to put the ball in the air and move it. This is a good time right now. If you had a 2-minute drill where you would go in 2-minute mode or hurry-up mode where you hit these little outs, you get out of bounds, you stop the clock, move the ball, stop the clock. Because the clock now is your ally. You just don't have enough time to really have this kind of drive. You have to get the ball, you have to score quick.
Sanchez will tackle for Buchanan. At second and 8, BHS. Stands in motion. Guerrero looking to the right. The pass complete. Midfield 50, 45. And close to the first down marker. Matthew Dover for the Drillers.
Yeah.
Nice short toss.
And right there, they got it away. Short toss. But you see how, I mean, it's a short little play. It's just like a run. You get the ball to the Dover, and he almost picks up a first down.
Drillers up front with Smith, Scunner, Valdivinos, Figueroa at guards. Bergman, Hernandez at tackles. Chain gang making an appearance tonight. First down for BHS at Buchanan 41-yard line. Watch it, guys. Don't trip over that chain. You're on TV. Thousands of people are watching you. Thousands. Many thousands.
Many thousands.
Three receivers wide left for BHS. Guerrero pitch back. The Stancer runs to left. Here comes Goodman. The company throw him down to 45.
Right there, Mark.
You
see the difference when you don't get that hook. If you don't get that hook on that guy or that crack back or you kick him out, there's just nowhere to run.
Goodman 44 all over the field for Buchanan. Giordano, assistant to number 2 for the Bears.
Yeah, you know,
second and 14 for BHS.
And again, I know it's easy for us to be up here and say things, but you're talking about with 6 minutes left, you're trying to do a running game against a defense that's not designed to allow you to run the ball. You have to come out and call some pass plays and find a room.
That's a huge helmet. 5-5-2 to play in the third. Buchanan 28, BHS 3. Scouts on the motion. Guerrero looking down for the pass. Incomplete, intended for Cooper. No flag. Looked like he was tripped up by Sanchez at the Bear 35-yard line. Well, I guess it's no harm, no foul.
Yeah, and, that's definitely a situation where, a flag could easily come down. The only thing I can say the official would say is that maybe the ball wasn't catchable, but how can you tell with a guy tripping down? You don't know, what his range was.
Well, Sanchez is 5'5", Cooper 6'1".
But when they spread it out like that, they put Mackey in motion. A route that they can run with Mackey is one that Harmon, when he was with the Chargers, ran a lot, and got real famous for. And a lot of his third down backs, is you go out, you get one-on-one with a linebacker, you set them up outside, and you cut right underneath them, inside of them, and you just pop the ball to them.
Downs on motion for the drills. Grow looking to the left. The pass complete to Mackey. 45. Tiptoeing down the sidelines. Hit hard by 2 or 3 Bears. Driving for more yardage is Blake Mackey. Inside the 40-yard line and Buchanan territory. Tapping over the number 9 for the Bears.
And really what we're seeing is really the passing game of the Drillers is not really sophisticated enough to handle this defense. And in all fairness, when I said we worked for Desert Storm, you got to remember we had preparation of 20 hours a week, and that's all we did. We didn't have to do defense. We stayed strictly offense. And so we had a preparation for the game. But they're not prepared to handle a defense like this in their passing scheme. Their passing scheme is just a kind of a hitch or a bomb.
4th and 9 for the Drillers. Stands on motion in Buchanan territory. Grow looking to the right. Fires off bounce, complete to Cooper. First down for the Drillers. Inside the 25-yard line. I mentioned earlier in the game that Cooper is a great first down receiver for BHS.
He's a solid receiver. He has the speed to get open, and also he's tough across the middle, catches the ball. But again, you see the passing game is somebody making something out of nothing. There's really nothing there. They just throw it and make a good play. It's nothing that's really schematic in their passing game that you can say, okay, this is what they're doing. It's the same. Again, that's their diet, and you've done it all year long. You got away with it, and now when you do something different, it's hard to change.
Guerrero, quarterback keeper, 20-yard line to the 15. And it might have another first down for BHS. Quarterback draw by Anthony Guerrero, number 1. Another first down for the Drillers.
And really, that's been their best run. And that's only the second one we've seen. So, right now they're doing to find some way to run. And also, again, that's another viable option when you back them out. You call a pass play, you tell the quarterback keep it. But, like I said, I just know that when you're playing the kind of defense, you have to be able to pass the ball with some precision and capability, or you're not going to score against them.
Back and wide left for the Drillers. In motion is Cooper. Guerrero, pitch back, Stansel. Looking for a block for the cut back. Power down at the 11-yard line. The Bears, as usual, coming up very quickly, like number 58, Daniel Moore, their nose guard.
Mark, you don't have time, the luxury of time on your side to do that. You don't have many possessions in a game like this. You cannot afford to keep trying these runs, let the clock eat up. Your best run is the quarterback keeper. He is a good quarterback on the roll. I think that's when he does it at his best and creating something. Let him make some creations instead of just calling certain plays like we saw earlier, that hit you go in those deep passes that led to interceptions. Give him a chance to give you some success.
No wide left for BHS. Second and 8. Guerrero to throw. Tilts the pressure over the middle. Complete! Touchdown to Cooper! BHS!
And there it is. Touchdown to Cooper. What
nice
happened?
Reception.
Nice reception, but also you step out, he looks the safety off and throws underneath the safety. That's the best pass play that they've had tonight. It ends up being a touchdown.
Well, Cooper is very adept at getting open over the middle and has great hands. Reach down for that ball. BHS has 9, Buchanan 28. Lining up in an interesting formation. They go for the fake. It's fumbled around by Buchanan to no avail. BHS comes up empty. I would have gone for the single point myself.
Well, you know, I agree with you on that. At this point, the 2 points aren't going to make that big a deal. Just get your point, get your 10th point, let your defense come back out. But you don't have the time to have that drive was 3 or 4 minutes. You just don't have time to do that. You know, and I know the young driller fans here are looking like discouraged, but again, anything can happen in football. Some wacky things have happened, and it can happen tonight, but you got to give yourself a chance. And the one thing I would definitely do this time is kick the ball in the end zone. I would not give Antoine Smith another opportunity to touch this ball.
That's a 2-point conversion attempt, which failed for BHS.
But I would not kick the ball to Antoine Smith. If you have a kicker kick the ball in the end zone, take the touchback.
Smith, number 28, back deep for Buchanan. That will be Alex Jones, who plays free safety for the Bears. Wyatt will be kicking off for BHS. 3:35 to play in the third quarter. Buchanan 28 to Drillers 9. Line drives it. Smith lets it go out of bounds.
See, that's what I'm saying. Now this ball, you kick the ball in the end zone, take it all on 20. Why play around with him? He's already burned you once. Why play around with him one more time?
Might burn you again. You're right. Go back to the 35-yard line, first down for the Bears.
You know, you're talking about a 15-yard difference. I mean, at this point in the game, this doesn't make that sense to give them that kind of field position. But now your defense has to just go forward and try to create some turnovers.
Release the ball carrier. In the backfield. Drives forward for about 4 yards. The outlaw's on his back for about 4 yards. Ruiz is very tough. Always seems to go forward.
Well, the one thing that you said is really showing is when you see the drillers making tackles, they're making a lot of tackles with one person, and it's because of their scheme. When those 4 receivers come out, you have to match out on them. And when you do that, you're not letting many tackles to tackle a ball carrier.
1-1 opportunities. Coates. Also even wide right for Buchanan. Antoine Smith in motion. From a draw, Ruiz. Midfield 50, gets a block, stays on his feet to the 45 and out of bounds. Another first down for the Bears in BHS territory.
And the only mistake Ruiz really made was going out of bounds on that one. But again, like I was talking about, you break those guys out of that box. You get those 6 men in that box that you have, it's very easy for those linemen to block. And that's what you're seeing. They're going one-on-one, they're beating their man, and he has a lot of room to run.
He breaks the initial tackle about every time he carries the ball in the second tackle.
Well, but to ask a guy to tackle a good back one-on-one with a head full of steam, you know, you're asking a lot. I mean, yeah, you want to make some plays, but he's not going to make that over and over.
Ahead of that time, he tries to spin loose. But it's dropped after a gain of about 1 yard.
Yeah. And on that play, they changed the defensive scheme. They went man-to-man, locked up, and they allowed them to have the 8 men to stop the run. But what that does now is, if they're going to play that way defensively, you open the passing game back up. And that's what balance is all about.
Cooper came into the game number 50. Goes in on attack for BHS. 2-2-2 to play here in the third. Buchanan by 20-9 over the Drillers.
Yeah, the Drillers right now, they need a turnover. You know, they need a turnover. And when they get the ball back, they can't do a sustained drive.
Baca quarterback over the middle, thrown behind Antoine Smith. That'll be 3rd and 9 for Buchanan.
And Rashawn Verger ran right by the ball and going to his man and almost hit him in the chest. So
you got to take it the other way.
But that's what they're going to need. They're going to need a big play like that. And they're going to take some chance. They're going to come up and put some pressure and just say, hey, let's go for it. And cornerbacks, your job is to lock somebody up, lock them down.
We can't just be dreaming about going there. Well, we have to do it.
Well, as long as they sit back like this, they're going to run the ball on them.
Baca looking left, plenty of time over the middle, complete. Now open Reed to the 20-yard line. First down for Buchanan. Eddie Reed, one of the top receivers, wide open over the middle.
Well, the middle of the field is going to be open because no defensive back is going to hold a guy that long. 3 or 4 guys rushing, you're not going to get any pressure. He's going to have all time to look. It's third and long. You know, like I said, it's one point now, you're almost in a desperation situation, offensively and defensively. You have to go with your 8, 9-man front and just bring it. And just say if they score, they score. But if they don't, we might be able to create a turnover.
Ring it. 4 receivers going out for the Bears. Racing the backfield. 20-yard line, 15. Breaks the tackle to the 10. Touchdown, Buchanan! Ruiz once again. No, I've been saying that too much tonight. Touchdown Buchanan.
He's touchdown Buchanan. Well, they got 7 of them. I mean 5 of them. I mean, you get 5 of them, you understand a lot. But again, you're seeing him really, that's your team right there. They had the guys who they wanted. They came with the 8-man front there. They got the pressure. 3 or 4 guys missed tackles. I mean, like I said, they've been on there a long time, all night tonight, and it shows in the second half. And, you know, this is what you talk about, some team in the second half, wearing them down.
Yeah.
You're seeing a worn down driller defense. And, you know, the 35 points on the board is not indicative of how they played tonight because they've had at least a good 20 of them. You know, actually 28 of the points pretty much have come. And you see right here.
Out of the shotgun, Brian.
Yeah, out, you know, right there, he runs through a tackle, runs through another tackle, gets a good block, nobody to touch him. I mean, think about it, the defense really only has given up that 1 drive because the other ones have all been short drives and a kickoff return. So that's really defense's only real drive. But again, it all starts with you give a team 35-yard line. That's only 65 yards to go. The percentages are much higher of a team scoring points when they have that short of a field to go, as opposed to kicking it and putting them inside the 20 or less. Touchback, it makes a big difference. But right now, this offense cannot come out. If they come out and do what they did the last time and take 4 or 5 minutes to score, you know, they just don't have the time to do it. They have to come out and be aggressive.
Love to be it, just close the gap to 20-9. Smith returns the kickoff 98 yards for a score. The Buchanan takes it another 65 yards for this touchdown, so they have answered back. Now they have 45-9 over the Drillers. They have done well in all facets of the game tonight, Buchanan. Kickoff returns, tackling, rushing the ball, receiving. Cooper with a quick cutback to the 30, 40-yard line. 1 man to beat. Stays on his feet to the 40. Will go all the way. Throw down the 20-yard line.
Well, right there, Cooper's been tough all night.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, you see that kid playing like that, I'm going to ride his back. Right now, you got to ride him. You got to jump on this kid's back, and you got to ride him. Right there, he cut back. Big return, almost broken for the touchdown, which they needed the 6. But he got them now. They only have 19 yards to go, and they have to come out now and they have to attack him.
He's had a great game tonight.
They can't afford right now to try to run these draws and these handoffs against this team and hope they break one. They're going to get stuffed. They got to go right now, and I'm going to Cooper. I'm telling him, I know you're tired, buddy, from cutting the game, but we're coming to you right now.
Oh, and a little wide right. McElroy left for the Drillers. Anthony Guerrero, number 1 at QB, and the ball given to Stansel up the middle. Hit and dropped at the 20-yard line at the line of scrimmage.
Mark,
about 3 Bears there.
At this point in the stage of the game, you only have a minute and something left in the game. Clock is not your friend. You can't afford to call those kind of plays at this point in time in the game. You got to take a chance and go for it. I mean, there's no other way to say it. You're down 35-9. You just got a big return by a man. You got to capitalize. He's back in the game. The ball should be going his direction or to Mackey, but they had to come up with something to look off that safety. The last time Guerrero looked up the safety and had a touchdown. He has to beat the safety again. Let his players beat the other guy.
A brilliant return by Brian Cooper. Guerrero looking to the right for Cooper. Off his hands, incomplete at the 21-yard line. 3rd down for the Drillers. 3rd and 11 for BHS.
And Mark, they had what I was talking about. He looked right. Mackey was one-on-one the backside, was wide open on the slant. And that's what I've been talking. That's what you have to do. You have to beat that safety. He throws the ball out there. There's a corner out there waiting for him to catch it. That's not going to go for anywhere. It's going to get blown up. You got to do what they did the last time. You looked one way and you came back. That's the only way you're going to beat that defense, passing the ball.
Number 34, Sherlin, the ball game for BHS. A lot of wide right with O'Neal. Slot right is Cooper. 3rd and 11, Guerrero looking in that direction. Sets up, fires it over the middle for O'Neal. Great catch! 1st and goal for the Drillers. at the 4-yard line.
Again, he looks right. It freezes the safety back to the middle. It's really simple when you really understand the concept of how to beat this defense. Right? You see him looking right, now he snaps back to the middle. That's how you beat it, because now that safety has to freeze, and he has to play everybody honest. He just can't roll over to your coverage.
O'Neal looked like Dwight Clark on that reception.
They need to get this in.
38 seconds left to play here in the third. VHS first and goal. It's on the Buchanan 5-yard line. Quarterback keeper, Guerrero to the goal line. Just shy of the end zone.
That's been their best run all night long. In terms of positive yards, that's been the best run by far.
The clock will probably run out here in the third quarter. VHS have a half-yard line, second and goal. Guerrero calling signals. Clock is running. Cooper wide left. Quarterback keeper. Touchdown, BHS, but the flag is down. Could it be a motion penalty against the Drillers?
It could be.
I called it right on the line.
They're talking about it.
Sideline judge.
They're moving back. Illegal procedure.
Yeah, it's against BHS.
But I'm going to tell you why that procedure penalty comes up. Because they try to rush against the clock.
Yeah.
I don't understand what the rush is now. You haven't been in rush mode. Why you wait now 21 seconds? You're rushing. Everybody's trying to move and get there. You get a procedure penalty.
Yeah.
And that's Mac. You have to see he has to get up on the line, and you get the procedure penalty. I don't understand what the rush was. If you haven't rushed in the third quarter so far, let the clock run out, get your play, score, kick off, and play defense, and try to win this game.
Now instead of second and goal from the half-yard line, it's second and goal from outside the 5.
And now you give the defense a chance to play.
So a big mental mistake by BHS. What will be the final play of the third quarter against the Buchanan Bears. Tabor slot left. Now he's in motion. Guerrero pitch back to Scansel to the outside, to the 5-yard line. Stays on his feet, to the goal line. Touchdown, Drillers!
And that's been his best run. I'm going to tell you why it's his best run. Because the defense was there, and that time he just had desire, and he ran through 2 or 3 guys and scored the touchdown because there were 4 defensive players right there, and he drove through them and scored a touchdown. Now, I know that makes the Driller fans, especially Daniel, happy about that.
Of course, that was set up by that fine kickoff return by Brian Cooper to the 20-yard line, Buchanan territory. BHS scores. Barthelmos will try a single-point PAT for the Drillers. The score now 35-15 Buchanan. High snap. It is partially blocked, but he gets it over. It's good. 35-16 Buchanan after 3 on CNSI, Time Warner Cable Channel 31. We are Digital Cable 106.
Check out the savings. Check out the selection. At Golden State Motors, we haven't reached our goal until you drive away with the deal of the millennium.
From Golden State Motors, the #1 used car dealer with over 100 pre-owned vehicles, the largest selection in Kern County. Domestic and foreign cars, trucks, and SUVs with new arrivals daily.
We'll slam the competition.
Corner of Golden State and M. Golden State Motors.
The all-new X96.5 plays in today's hottest music. Now with Jamie and Danny in the morning.
Good morning, Bakersfield.
We're Bakersfield's new morning show.
Today's hottest music is on the all-new X96.5.
X96.5.
Well, beginning the fourth quarter, the ball kicked to Antoine Smith, who is turn 1 for a touchdown. Breaks it all the way to the 20-yard line, 30, and down to 34.
Why?
Antoine Smith, number 21.
Why? That's my only question is why.
Watch out. Yeah, why kick the ball to him?
Why kick the ball to him?
Surely. Number 34 of attack for BHS. There's a TD by the Drillers.
Once again, I mean, here's the run right here. You see what I mean? He splits 2 defenders right there, runs through, and he runs through another tackle right there and gets in the end zone. And that's just desire, because really they had to play defense, and he just had more heart and desire on that play.
Some of the Bears have showed this entire game. Flag is down. Might be against the Bears. Heflin coming back in at quarterback, number 12 for Buchanan.
Well, I think this was going to go against Buchanan.
There's a return by Antoine Smith. Starts to go to his left, cuts back now the other direction.
And right there, again, I'm just going to ask why. He already broke your back once. If anybody's going to get the ball, it's going to be the other guy on the other side. I'm not kicking the ball off to him, and I want the ball in the end zone, or I wanted to hit them low to the other player. You don't want to give a good player like him a chance to make something happen, which he almost did again.
And they can.
But he gave him good field position. So again, you know, you pin them back, you can unleash the dogs kind of on them, you know. But now, again, you're at a point now you got to gamble.
Malloy Thorwell, Holland Thompson showing up front for Buchanan. Helping to throw it. Man, it's complete. Touchdown. First down for Buchanan. Number 17, Benny Clay. Wide open, just kind of waited for the ball. Pretty heavy rush on the quarterback, but they got rid of it through a nice pass.
Well, again, on that play, you had some players not lined up right. They were trying to run around the last minute, and there it was. You know, that corner route, that slide receiver, you love to see that. Guy sitting inside of you, you go at him, 12 yards, you break out, wide open. I mean, but they have to do that. I mean, they have to go for it. They can't just sit back and let them just run the ball on them and sit back almost in a defense designed to stop the pass. They have to be aggressive.
Well, they don't. Buchanan, as you know, likes to throw the football.
And they're going to have to jam these receivers and play tough.
Reed in motion for the Bears out of BHS 45-yard line. Ruiz again tries to split that. Driller D stacked up at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 for Buchanan. 10:45 to play in a ball game. BHS has 16, Buchanan 45. Drillers have to come up with a stop.
And they got to get turnovers now.
Better than that, a TO.
They got to go for the ball. They got to rip the guy, try to go for turnovers. Because, like I said, the clock's just ticking on them. They're going to down 10 minutes left into the season and a chance at glory and being on that wall in that locker room with this other undefeated team.
Benny Clay, number 17, with 25 receptions coming in for the Bears. At over 500 yards. Hetherington, 3 receivers wide right. The motion, Giordano, number 2 for the Bears. Shotgun. Hetherington looking right. Fires it incomplete. Everybody fell down. The defender. Now the intended receiver, Kuntz. For Buchanan, no foul.
And they're not going to call it because in the high school level right there, you know, until the ball's in the air, you guys, they can be physical, both players. If both players will hit each other, fall down, good, no call.
Kyle Scott, number 8, and Kuntz both falling down that pass attempt. 3rd down 10. So a big play, a big down for the BHS defense.
Well, they got to get some pressure.
Throwing 45-yard line. Hetherington to Ruiz, hit in the backfield and dropped. 4th down, Diablo, number 10.
And Diablo just made a great big play for the Drillers right now.
Smelled it out.
They got to punt the ball, and they got a chance. You know, anytime special teams right here, they're going to try to run a screen play.
You saw it coming.
And this is a good, safe play also. You see McCullough get good pressure. Diablo come underneath the offensive lineman to make the play.
He just whipped right through that intended blocker for Buchanan. From Buchanan High School, the Bears have 35, the Drillers 16. The Drillers from Bakersfield High School. Big contingent of Driller fans here tonight. We're on the BHS side. Mackey lets the punt drop. It lands at the Driller 10-yard line.
So he's got to come up and catch those. Even if he's not going to return it, he's got to come up, be aggressive. Don't worry about them. If they get in your way, it's a penalty. You come up, you wave that hand, and you catch that ball and secure it. That's, you know, you're talking about on the 15-yard line now. On the 10, you need to drive. But again, they have to be aggressive. There's 9 minutes left. 35-16. You do not have time to hand the ball off and let the clock keep running on you. You got to have a 2-minute type of drill now where you get the ball out, get out of bounds. Get the ball out, get out of bounds. If you're going to go across the middle, you look the safety off, hit underneath them, or hit behind them. Really look them off the other side and run a dig on the backside with one of your athletes who might be able to catch and break one.
Well, Drillers looking at a potential 90-yard drive at their own 10-yard line. Anthony G looking left. Watching Mackey hit as he throws the ball incomplete. Hit from behind, nice pressure by Buchanan. Number 58, Daniel Mora, the initial man to whip him. Nose guard for Buchanan, along with Hubbard, Alvarado, Framstead, Thomas up front. Lopez, Goodman, linebackers.
And Mark, one of the tough things the drillers have to do right now is they have to do things they're not accustomed to. As you can see, it's a big difference between how Buchanan comes back and they're on time, as opposed to drillers. You can tell this is not their main game passing like this. Their passing game is hitch, slant, bomb. Every once in a while, we'll come across the middle, pop pass, but it's not, like I said, it's not a very sophisticated passing game.
Bro looking left, throws it up in the air for O'Neal. Picked off by the Bears to the 30, 25 and down. The ball thrown up in the air. Lopez with a INT for the Bears. And they are in serious BHS territory.
Well, we're about to see flat line real quick because this, 8 minutes left, 9 minutes left in the game. You throw a pick. Again, what happened now is Buchanan makes adjustments. You'll see right here, he looks off what he's done before, but he's waiting. That's too much time, floats it. They come underneath. But you got to give the Buchanan credit for adjusting because they've been burned 2 or 3 times with that pass play. And now they make the adjustment, they come underneath and they get an interception. So that's a good play right there.
Fumble there.
And they still.
That's 48 to play in a ball game.
And Buchanan keeps as they fall on it.
Out of 4th interception thrown by Guerrero tonight. Threw off the back foot again.
Yeah.
A couple of times tonight.
What he did good was he looked them off. When he was ready to throw, his receivers weren't ready. But that's because they don't practice that kind of. Actually, they don't practice. I'm not at practice, but when we've watched them, they don't have that kind of passing game.
Ruiz at the middle, touchdown Buchanan, just running through the Driller defense. That was right up the middle.
Well, again, like I said, in terms of driving the ball, the Driller defense is not getting up a drive. They've been in Bakersfield territory all game long, and they pay again with an easy run for a touchdown.
Ruiz has made a living scoring touchdowns tonight.
And again, this defense has been solid all year long, and really they played a great game again tonight. They just had the ball in short territory, and you're just asking too much, and they've held a couple times.
Line drive, PAT no good. Misses wide left. Buchanan 41, BHS 16.
Yeah, like I said, the defense has held. This really was a game of 2 solid defenses, 1 offense that's been prepared and had the opportunity on these short possessions. And you see right there, you run through a tired, weary Driller defense, and the other offense who just wasn't ready to play against a team like this, did not have a good offensive scheme to beat a team like this. They came out and tried to establish and dominate a running game, which against that Desert Storm type of defense is not how you beat them. And then they don't have the passing game really to beat a team like that. They don't have the controlled passing game, that mid-range, 15 yards downfield, the outs. We haven't seen any outs thrown. They're playing 10 yards off. We haven't seen 1 out thrown, a 10-yard out, which is a main staple if you're playing against a team that's playing off.
Ruiz has scored 4 times for Buchanan tonight. Kuntz has scored once, and Anton Smith on a 98-yard touchdown return. Well, the turnovers have really killed the Drillers tonight. And Buchanan has taken advantage of everything that BHS has done from a negative fashion.
Well, and that's what you're going to do. And in all fairness, too, the Drillers also could have put some numbers up like that, too, if they were having 20 yards to go, 19 yards to go, over and over when your team is tired. But like I said, the offense had to sustain some drives, and they just didn't have. They did not really have the scheme to beat a defense like that.
Travis Johnson falls on the ball for BHS at their own 19-yard line, 29-yard line, number 49. Drillers down 41-16. 1st and 10 with 8:15 to play in the ball game. It has been all Buchanan tonight. They made the majority of the big plays. BHS side, very quiet. O'Neal, Mack and wide left for the Drillers.
Well, Mark, not much to
Chambers
cheer
in
about.
motion. Guerrero pitch back to Stansel. They're going to drop in the backfield. Boy, they swarm to the ball.
Well, that's why they call it Desert Storm when Arizona ran it, because you had that ability to get to the ball. Defense is designed primarily to stop the run and make you be a competent passing team to do more than just a hitch, run some outs. You have to vary what you do. You have to learn how to look off that safety. And you're talking about asking these young men to do something that's done at the college and pro level without the college and pro level of input to teach you these kind of things.
Matt Carter on the tackle for Buchanan. Second and long for BHS.
Let's go, Jewelers.
Second and 15. Throw to Stansel. Hit hard by Lopez and down at the 23-yard line. Buchanan has the drills right where they want them tonight.
And they've had them in their sights from Jump Street. And, you know, and like I said, it just, I mean, you ask the defense to do too much in that short period, that short territory without a lot of rest. The offense really tonight showed that although they scored a lot of points, they've been a juggernaut in the city, that they have to change their style. If they're going to get back to this level, they have to change and come up with an offensive scheme that can beat a team that runs these kind of fronts, because there's just nowhere to run against them.
Malcolm White for BHS. Guerrero to throw, sets up, fires it out. It might be picked off, and it almost was by Giordano. Out in a pattern, like Mack was streaking down the sidelines. Guerrero threw an out pattern.
Yeah, and what you do is you clear it out.
He threw it to the Bears.
Yeah, well, he had a man open, and just like I said, these are plays they're calling, but you can tell they don't run them a lot. You can tell by the way the ball's being thrown and the timing. When you run these plays a lot, you see Buchanan, when they pass the ball, things are real crisp, because that's what they do. The drillers have really much run, and when they have passed, like I said, they had a lot of big plays. He had 20 touchdowns off not that many pass attempts.
Bergman a punt for BHS. High driving punt. Giordano over the shoulder catch at his own 25-yard line. Slips a tackle to the 30. 35 down the sidelines. Boy, cut back, midfield 50 down at the 47-yard line. About two BHS players missed some tackles in that run back.
Yeah, and you know, great kick. You outkick the coverage. A man has a chance to return the ball, and he makes a big return right here.
Playing center field.
Tackle. Now he's going to hit the sideline. He has blockers they're going to pick up, and they're going to create a path for him to run almost like they're on a track going home to the tape.
First and 10 for the Bears on BHS territory at the 47-yard line. Now the ball carried to the 40-yard line. A pickup of 7 yards. The quarterback for Buchanan, number 8, Robbie Austin, is a junior. So Baca and Hetherington probably through for the night.
Yeah, and you know, and pretty much, you know, when they sealed the game a little while back. But you know, right now, you know, your seniors are the drillers. Your hearts go out to them. They worked hard all year long. They get 12-0, no blemishes on their record, and they come to this game, and you know, it just wasn't meant for them to be. You know, like I said, they just didn't have the right kind of scheme to beat that Desert Storm type of defense.
Flag is down. Neff Powers is way to about the 31-yard line of BHS territory. On the other side, it says, "We are number one for a reason. Number one. Need we say more? The clock stops here, and you're out of time."
Well, they are definitely out of time, and this clock's going to run out, even though there's a penalty against them. Like I said, the seniors, you know, it's your last game. They played, had a good season. You know, I know when people don't understand, when you're a driller in that uniform, you have history that you're trying to compete against in tradition. And, you know, coming to the final game is not what your goal is. Your goal is to be the CIF section champion, you know, so anything short kind of feels a disappointment. They had nothing to hang their heads about. They played great all year long. I said they just came to a game when they just really weren't prepared against the defense they played, because the defense has played a good game tonight.
Draw play to Neff. Hit hard, driven down. That'll be third down for Buchanan. Well, it's very tough when you're unbeaten coming into a title game and you get beat. They were 12-0 coming in. Buchanan lost early in the year to De La Salle. So they only have that one loss on their slate. BHS are not tasting defeat, and this is always the toughest game to lose.
It is. Anytime you get this far, you know, it's a lot of pain in this game at this point in time. But like I said, if you're juniors, they have a lot to look forward to next year. Something to burn in their hearts for next year, but also the coaching staff to prepare themselves and to say, hey, we got to come up with a scheme that can beat this kind of team. You know, and that's what teams have done. When the drillers were on top in the late 80s, early 90s, people found schemes to try to beat them, to defeat them. And that's what they're going to have to do, because Buchanan has been here for a while and they're going to be back. So we have, you know, the drillers have to come back, And any other teams in Bakersfield are going to have to come and play these kind of teams. They're going to have to develop that passing game to alleviate pressure to find a run.
Well, as you know, BHS has won a number of section championships in football, but this will be Buchanan's first section title in football. BHS beat them in 1994, so Buchanan avenges that loss to the Drillers 6 years ago.
Well, and they avenged it, and again, you know, they just really...
It's been their year.
Took them out, and it's going to be a first down now.
Punt was almost blocked. At the 45, a flag is down.
Yeah, the kicker was hit.
Venters on the catch of BHS at the 5-yard line, where they probably will bring it back. First down for Buchanan. Running into the punter. Personal foul against the Drillers. 4:52 on the clock in the ball game. Buchanan has 41, BHS 16.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to move the chains and pretty much now just run the ball a few more times and let the clock go. Pick up a couple first downs and celebrate their CI section title and number one and on their quest for more.
Well, they definitely have earned it. They've had a great season. Now to about the 30-yard line. 3 shots this year, only lost to Concord de La Salle, who's won over 100 consecutive games, only lost by 6 points. They've been very strong in the playoffs, Buchanan.
You know, and Buchanan, for relatively a young school, has a good tradition with their program, and you know the first one's always the hardest one to get. You know, and it just
look what they have to compete with: Clovis,
yeah.
Clovis West,
yeah.
and now Clovis East. I mean, all the teams up here are good.
Yeah, so you know once
very
you get you get that first one, your players start to believe they can do it, and that changes the whole mindset of the program.
As you know, Brian, Clovis won the championship last year, Clovis West the year before, so 3 straight titles by 3 different Clovis schools.
And, you know,
BHS's second trip to this beautiful stadium in 3 years. They lose to Clovis West 2 years ago, to Buchanan tonight, but they play great football up here. The coaching is exceptional. To beat a team from Clovis, you have to be on top of your game.
Well, I think this is just coming, is watching it and having a chance to do these games the last 2 years and see different teams. I don't think that the passing games are sophisticated enough, especially with the drill, with their ability to run the ball. They should have a much better passing attack to be able to diffuse a defense like this. I think that's why they're coming up short, because they're playing these defenses that can take away a run. And when this run is gone and you're not used to having a good passing scheme and a good balanced passing, offense, you're going to run into trouble. And you start asking your defense to do more than what it can handle. You especially can't turn the ball over on them and put them in that bad of a situation.
Well, as you know, many of the games that BHS has played this year, Guerrero would throw the ball maybe 10 or 12 times, complete 8 for a lot of yards.
Yeah.
They'd be 10-yard passes. They would take them for 50 or 60-yard gains.
Or he would throw it down 40 yards and they'd catch it, jump over somebody, and then run away. So, like you said, he's
going to make any big plays tonight against this swarming D.
And in those plays, like I said, there's going to be a few opportunities when they're there, but you're not going to have as many as you do when you play teams that aren't to your caliber. And when you match up against somebody, if you don't have that scheme, you're not going to win.
Antoine Smith, number 21 for Buchanan, doing a little trash talking on the field.
Well, at this point in time, what can you say? I mean, you don't like to see it because of the sportsmanship, but I mean,
he's having a good time, I guess.
He has 3 minutes left in the game, and he knows he has a title. He has a ring coming, so he's more than excited.
Well, BHS has had a great season. Unfortunately, their first loss of the year comes tonight in the title game, but they'll be back. The Power in Bakersfield, one of the top teams in the Valley. Number 2 this year. Johnson in the ball game for BHS. Travis Johnson, 49. Takes the ball to about the 25-yard line. As Venters now playing quarterback QB for the Drillers. Ron Venters, 2:35 to play in the ball game. 41-16 in favor of Buchanan. Now, as you know, I'm surprised by what I have witnessed tonight and the final score.
The thing is, the score is not indicative of how well the defense did play well. They just had a little short fields to guard.
Venters to throw it deep. Mack is open. Incomplete. Looked like he had it for a long game. Just momentarily lost his focus and drops the ball out of bounds.
Now, Venters, you see the strength in Venters' arms. He can put that ball out there. But right there, we've seen Mackey drop a ball like that against Foothill we saw this year. And what happened is you'll see right here, and hopefully we can get a good picture of it. We should be able to.
Veteran is a former QB at Ridgeview.
Yeah. See, his hands are very low. His hands are beneath his face mask, so your vision, that your eyes can't see it, so it's almost a blind spot. And you watch Jerry Rice and other receivers, even in college, they get their hands up higher and meet the ball so that it's in their vision. Right there, he's catching it in a blind spot, and you're going to drop a lot of balls like that.
Be aggressive in receiving the ball rather than unaggressive. High pass attempt for White, incomplete. Kind of lob it high in the air, and White could have been popped on that pass attempt.
It's not that he's not being aggressive. It's just that he's a young receiver, and he just has to learn to put his hands up higher and not be low, because at low, it's just because the way your face mask is, it's just a blind spot.
In other words, go after the ball and still let the ball come to you.
He just has to put his hand. If he puts his hands up, he'll catch it. That's all. That's all it is. It's just, unless you're a receiver and have done it. It's really hard to visualize, but it happens to all of them, and you see this gets low.
Bergman will punt for BHS at his own 10-yard line. He did not punt one time last week against Bullard. Off the side of his foot, out of bounds. To the BHS sideline, hit either White or Johnson. Bergman's final high school game, 3-year starter for the Drillers. Where will he be next year?
And he's a heck of a talent too.
He's probably a baseball pitcher, so you never know.
Yeah, he really is a heck of a talent. Good offensive lineman. And tip my hat off to him. I know he worked hard all year long and really won this title, this championship game. And tonight it just wasn't in the cards. And like I said, there's enough time. Spring practice comes up, and then you have summer league to really revamp the offense in terms of having a pass. Because you're gonna have to, if you meet them again, if you can't pass the ball, you're gonna run into the same problem. Because there's just not room to run against this kind of team. If that's what your game plan is, you're already setting yourself up in the hole.
Well, those teams will be tough next year. It'll be, whether it's this 10 Clovis West or Clovis. Good in the back from number 50. Maybe the best of the game for the Drills by Leroyce Cooper, as he smacked down the running back for Buchanan.
Yeah, and Leroyce
1-5-1 to play in a ball game.
And we see Leroyce get some of the first penetration of the game for the Drillers and just really smacks them. Right here, Leroyce comes through and just slams him to the ground.
That's a highlight play. Bernie Johnson on the Time Warner crew doing a great job again tonight on our final prep game of the year. The BHSB stacking up the ball carriers for Buchanan. Hey, Brian, it's been great working with you this year.
Yeah, I've had another great season.
Second season in a row.
And you keep carrying me, so I appreciate that.
I was hoping for a different outcome tonight, at least a closer game.
Well,
but you never know in a championship affair.
No, and also, too, a few of those turnovers were on third downs as well. So, they're going to be punts anyway. So, the position wasn't going to be that big of a deal some of the returns. But, again, you just can't make those kind of mistakes in this game. And you have to have I can't say it enough. To be a Desert Storm type attack, you have to have a competent passing game. And that passing game has to be multiple. You have to have outs. You have to have hitches, slants, digs across the middle. Then you can set up and go deep and hit your trademark plays. But if you don't set those things up against these kind of teams, you just can't come out and outman them because they're just as good as you are. And that's just not going to work. And like I said, you get those bad habits in the year against other teams you can do that to, and it costs you.
Well, both teams finished up 12-1 this year, but Buchanan wins the CIO Central Section Yosemite Division Large Schools Championship, their fourth section title in football. And the fans are going crazy. We'll have a home field at Buchanan Stadium. For the second time in 3 years, BHS loses in the section finals 2 years ago to Clovis West. This year to Buchanan. 3 consecutive championships for Clovis schools. Clovis West, Clovis, and Buchanan back-to-back years.
Well, just sends a message to the Bakersfield schools. They're going to have to revamp their offense. It's not their defense, because until BHS really has some tough defenses, it's just you can't come to a championship game and think you're going to win on defense. The Buccaneers have learned that in the pro game. It's the same on all levels, whether it's high school, college, JC. Your defense cannot just keep winning ball games. Your offense has to produce at some point in time.
Fireworks going off. Anthony Guerrero threw 4 interceptions for BHS tonight, but I thought their best player on the field, offensively and overall, was Brian Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper came to play tonight. He just really has a knack for running that inside route. He's a tough runner, tough when he catches the ball. And, like I said, tip their hats off to Buchanan. They came, did what they had to do. They won the game, but the drills had nothing to hang their head about. They got to this game. Now they got to use that energy and this hurt and make it a positive and come back next year.
At a final score from Clovis, it was Buchanan 41, Bakersfield High School 16. For Brian Adams, I'm Mark Heffernan. Good night. You've been watching the Prep Football Game of the Week right here on CNNSI, Time Warner Cable, Channel 31, Digital Cable 106. Thanks for a great season.
It's pretty simple, really. You want to advertise your business on TV. Call Time Warner Cable. We'll put you on some of the most popular shows on your favorite cable networks.
We could put your business on ESPN. It's the ultimate sports network.
We'll get you seen and heard on CNN, the stage for some of the most interesting people around.
Use Telemundo and Galavision to reach out to the fastest growing segment of our community.
When you call Time Warner Cable, we'll map out a strategy, custom built for your business. We'll produce a commercial for you, and then deliver your message on some of the most popular shows on TV. Think of Time Warner as your own personal advertising department. We make it easy to advertise on the cable networks, and we do it affordably. Call Time Warner now, and we'll send you free information on how simple it is to get your business on the cable network. Time Warner Cable. It's the best way to get on television.